Live, we are back for the round 24 review, and I've just seen in the comments that the AA squad has just been released, Jesse. Are we going to react to this live?
We
It's
might have
happening in the moment.
We might have to. Yes, I didn't. Sometimes this happens. News drops while we're here doing our filming days here, Dylan.
Like, for example, last week in the Sydney Swans
Yeah.
thing was going absolutely ham. Because we record like literally all day. So we're just like, we're pumping out videos and we're sort of in the moment. And then we have to revert back to this. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm having a look at the list. I'm bringing up the names. Where is it? Where is it? It's going to be at the end. Okay. Here it is.
We got someone saying Sicily in the squad is an absolute joke, and Sheasel a big omission, apparently.
I'm going to go club by club here.
Okay.
So Adelaide,
Yep.
Jordan Dawson, Wayne Millerer, Isaac Rankin. No issues.
Locks.
Yep. Yeah, they're probably all locks, aren't they?
Yeah.
Millerer,
Haven't focused on him in the last 8 weeks, but
he's been good.
Yeah, I'd say he was a lock at one point. Certainly a lock for the 40. That's probably what I'll go with.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no dispute.
Brisbane, Harris Andrews, Will Ashcroft. This will be his first, never previously All-Australian.
He's come a little bit later though.
He's come late.
I don't know if he'll make the team, but it's just the squad.
Yep. Zach Bailey, Charlie Cameron, Logan Morris, Lockie Neal.
Wow. Yeah, those all make sense.
Yep. Carlton Patrick Cripps.
Yeah, he's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. But again, how good was he consistently while they were 1 and 8?
Well, that's the only thing, because do you remember back when he was in really bad form in that period under Michael Voss, and there was the narrative was that move him on.
Yeah, well, mind you, I think was that just Kane Corns?
Yeah, it was. Big turnaround though.
Yes.
Just the Dacos brothers from Collingwood, both.
Okay. Yep.
Both, which is interesting. None for Essendon. So, I mean, that's fair.
Shock and awe.
Yeah. Freo are stacked here.
Yeah.
Amos, Bolton, Clark, Jackson, Pearce, Reid, Sarong, Tracy.
How many of those don't make it? Sarong, I reckon, will find it tough. And Clark, I don't know if get in this time. Both All Australian last year.
Yeah, true.
Bolton will make it. Jackson will make it. Tracy should make it.
Yeah.
Gee, Amos could make it too.
Pearce will make it.
Pierce will make it. Reid, too competitive, I reckon, for that spot.
I think so.
Bolton and Reid is stretch, I reckon.
I think Reid misses. I think Clark's a chance because of the position. I think Amos might miss too. Maybe.
He'd be unlucky. Finished second in the Common? Second.
Third in the end, I think.
No, Morris had a massive game and finished second. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Geelong, Dempsey, Holmes, O'Sullivan, Bailey Smith. I don't think there's any contention there. Ben King and Bodie.
Connor O'Sullivan. Did you say?
Yeah.
Big achievement.
Big achievement for
Yeah,
him.
third
Actually,
year
probably deserved a little bit more, didn't it?
Yeah.
And Dempsey's back there in the mix. Ben King and Bodie Yulin. Do you remember my preseason prediction?
Yeah,
Bodie
good
Yulin,
shout.
All Australia. I mean, he probably won't get it.
Nah. Good call.
But there he is. Lockie Ash, Clayton Oliver for the GWS Giants. I feel neither will get there.
Yeah. Would you have gone Clayton Oliver or Harley Reid?
That's a good question.
Because I'm just reading in the chat here that Harley's not in it.
Okay, I haven't got there yet.
That's a good question. I know Reid hasn't had it. He's had a brilliant year for the responsibility he has. I don't know how to compare him against a Clayton Oliver.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
I'd say Clayton would have been a little bit more prolific,
Possibly.
but yeah.
Yeah, probably would have been. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Gunston, Impey, Newcomb, Sicily, and Nick Watson. So the big one there is Sicily.
Sicily, yeah.
That people seem to be debating. I think he started the year pretty well.
I can't remember, to be honest. But yeah, that's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like,
Bit
of
of a
all of
legacy
that back
selection.
line, it doesn't feel like he's been massive, but I haven't got the numbers in front of me. Gawn and Pickett makes sense for Melbourne. LDU for North. No Sheasel.
Yeah, okay. Well, how do you feel about that? You'd say LDU is a more important player?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
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 He's better. Sheasel's had a good year, but I don't know. Could he be in the 40 squad? Maybe, but
Yeah.
Yeah. I got criticised because I didn't put him fast enough in our under 22 team.
He did make it, just not fast
He didn't
enough.
make it. It just wasn't quick enough. Port Adelaide have 4 selections.
Wow.
For a team that finished 4th bottom.
Alia.
Yep.
Georgiades.
Yep. Butters.
Yeah. And Horn Francis?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Correct. None for Richmond.
That surprised me a little.
That they've got that many.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have thought Horn Francis would have made it. Maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention.
Yeah, he's been pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
He's been pretty good, but
Fair enough. And Georgiades is also competing with other key forwards who have kicked a lot of goals. He has had a good year.
Yeah, as has Alira. Yeah,
Alira
Francis would be the
me.
biggest reach there, I'd say. Naz and Wilkie for St Kilda.
Yep. No brainer.
Yep. Kerno and Grundy for Sydney.
Yep.
Which obviously
yeah
would have been more.
Oh, true. Yeah, I wonder how many slipped in as a result.
Yes.
No, that wasn't. So Blakey, Warner, and Heaney.
They're all Australian.
They would have been, but not Jordan or Bias.
Yeah.
So that's 3 spots. So
did they add extras?
Well, they must have, I presume. So that would be Clayton Oliver, maybe Horn Francis.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably the lucky ones there.
Sicily.
Well, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And Sheasel. Not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bont and Richard.
Sheasel still didn't make it. Yeah. Nor did Billy Frampton. We got a super chat here from Rogie. Thank you, mate. He says Billy Frampton was dropped.
Billy Frampton's one of those guys that, like, if he's on your team and he's had a season like this, you love him, but he's still not good enough to make All-Australian.
No.
He's just not, is he?
Yeah. I also don't recall him doing this from round 1, which I know you don't have to do that to be an All-Australian. I mean, Ashcroft was criticised for half the year.
Yeah.
And still made it. So, no.
I mean, Richards has probably he was probably pretty good in the start as well. I don't know where I was going with that. I was going to say Richards may have peaked more like his best form's been later.
Ed Richards?
This year, yeah, but he probably started well too.
Yeah. Did you say he made it?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay. No Eagles, I'm guessing.
No.
Yeah, fair. If Waterman kicked straight, he definitely would have been in it.
Yeah, but
and I thought in some world maybe Harley could scrape the 40, but he wouldn't have been a lock by any stretch.
No, I don't think he hasn't quite made that jump yet.
Yeah.
As good as he looks. He's doing a lot for the team.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how well he polls the Brownlow.
It will.
When up to the point we stopped winning games, which was about halfway.
Most of the season.
Yeah. But he would have been raging best on ground in so many of our losses.
It's that crucial part in the season where we just stopped winning.
Yeah. The halfway point.
Oh dear, what do we got in the chat here? Sharpie says, I think if Harley kicked more accurately in front of goal, he would have made it.
Yeah.
Hard to deny him. He ended with 15 goals and 27 points. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad shout, is it? Like you couldn't, if he'd have kicked 30 goals and did what he did from the midfield, it's a hard sell not to have him in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No Sheasel, people saying, and Frampton, Rankin an example of better second half of the year for sure. Okay, Jesse, the round 24.
Well, there's a bit of news to cover off first. Should we?
Yeah.
Or is that what you were going to do?
Yeah, I was just bringing it in.
Sorry, I was just going to say general talking points. So I'm just sharing a link.
Absolutely.
To the chat. Well, I feel like we should address the Sydney situation a little bit. Now, just to be clear, when we did a show last week, the news had just broken. It was really early. And then I spent the week obsessing about it a little. I was very fascinated by this whole case. And now, I must admit, 7 days later, it feels like there's a saturation point where we've kind of stopped learning new things. And I don't know how much we want to deep dive it, other than to say, it's been very unsettling as a football fan. Yeah. Yeah, it's been... I don't know. It's hard with this situation too, because I think there's been a ridiculous amount of over information, misinformation. Oh, misinformation, definitely.
So there's a lot going around, and you sort of have swings of oh my God, how bad is this? Is it slightly not as bad? I think overall it's not a good situation. Whether it comes to criminal charges, whether it goes that far, or whether it sort of stays in the more element where it is now, which is just those players being, stood down from finals and those sort of things. It's I don't want to use that phrase, it's not a good look, but it's not sort of a savoury. They shouldn't have been participating in that sort of thing in a season anyway, right? Oh, yeah. I feel like it's
There's so much wrong with it.
Yeah.
The misinformation part, I do a little tinfoil hat thing on. I'm wondering... I've watched the O.J. Simpson documentary, and I've seen how the media manipulates the public. So the media and the lawyers, and I'm just wondering how much of this misinformation do you reckon has been sprinkled in by people in high places to trivialise it? That's my theory. Makes me worry because you just the flow of vibe was, oh my God, this is extremely terrible what happened, to, oh hang on, was it just that, to, oh my God, it's terrible again, and now. People don't know what to think, which,
reading between the lines, I think I get what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just wonder if there's a bit of funny buggers being played here. But very upsetting situation. And
the part of it, like swinging it to a football context, which is probably like what we're better at talking about here.
Yeah.
But like, I think the part of and it's gone to that area of like, you know, what's going to happen with these players in the future? Are they going to get like traded on? Can they come back to the Sydney Football Club? And obviously, whether it's a criminal thing, I think kind of plays into that a little bit, and their value and all of that kind of stuff. But it sort of feels like to me that the hardest thing is going to be the current Sydney players who have now like missed out on this final series because of like whatever happens because of their behaviour on some level. It's going to be really hard for them to play alongside them again. Yeah, that's the barrier.
Absolutely, but that kind of also assumes that all players accused or involved in this at this stage, the 5 we just know have been banned for breach of like team rules, basically.
Yeah.
And there's been no suggestion that they've been banned for the alleged crime, because Sydney are not in a position to be able to try people for that and then make their own outcome in like 2 days. So it just kind of depends. Are they all equally guilty of something? Is it just one bloke? Is it multiple of them? How much do the players know right now? There's an interesting question as well that we can't possibly answer. But it's like how much of the playing group that's still at Sydney know what happened?
Yeah.
Don't know. But yeah, I must say a little shout out to Sydney fans as well. This must be an awful time. Like obviously not the primary victims, but while we're talking on a footy show, like I kind of would think that this has been emotionally troubling for me, let alone if this was my footy club, I reckon it'd be compounded a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like something that disconnects you from your football team.
I think they did the game at the weekend with like having the curtain raiser as the AFLW game. Like they did a pretty good job of that.
Yeah.
Of sort of pulling everyone together. But yeah, not an ideal situation.
No, I know a few Sydney fans at work and they're pretty depressed. I remember feeling depressed when Gaff punched Brayshaw. That was bad, but I think this is much worse. Because we were also like,
and they still managed to beat North Melbourne.
Yes. Let's not gloss over that.
It's like this horrendous week. It's all going bad.
Yeah,
and yet
beat North by 9 goals. They beat
North Melbourne by 9 goals.
You were very confident of a North Melbourne victory.
Why wouldn't I be?
Did we? And I can't remember if we did this on air. I reckon we did it before we went on air. We looked at the teams that we said who would Sydney beat, and I said they beat the bottom 3, maybe even the bottom 4. And I think you disagreed.
Yeah, I still do. I think that team. Okay. I think that team now is having lost those players out of their starting 23 is still like it's in that group.
No,
like it's
group.
Yeah.
No. You need to watch an Essendon or West Coast game, bro.
Well, okay, they'd be better than West Coast, Richmond, Essendon.
Okay,
but then they'd be in the group after that.
Yeah, not as good as North.
Not as good as North. They're not as good as us. They're not.
What would it take for you to admit that they are? A 20-goal win?
A 20-game season.
Let us know in the chat. This Sydney team, and this is so devoid of the point, but we are sort of moving on to the football stuff. But this Sydney team that played against North Melbourne on the weekend, the one that's going into finals, how many teams would that team beat? Dylan reckons begrudgingly, maybe the bottom 3, ignoring the 9-goal win over his own club.
Emotional response, Jesse. It happens in sport. Okay.
I reckon they would annihilate my team. As we look at a super chat here, Rogie says, interested on your read on, thank you, on Heath Melody's best position. While he probably starts his career at halfback, I think he ultimately becomes a midfielder. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, correct. What we've seen now, generally speaking, I think like with a Heath Melody type player, they're one of those guys you go like, I reckon he's got scope to play in the midfield, but we haven't seen it. But we're actually getting to see it because he went in halfway through champs. Pretty much since the moment that he went in there, he's absolutely dominated.
Yeah,
plays in a league game against the West Coast Eagles at the weekend. Held himself really good. People have talked a little bit about his wayward kicking, but he kicks both feet. He was tearing out of the stoppage. He was kicking balls on his left foot, his non-preferred foot, and he sprayed a few.
Yeah,
who cares?
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, I think he did a great job. 33 disposals and an excellent running goal. He kind of is at this point like he's just the perfect transition mid.
Yeah. Well, Rogie also says that pretty often in the simulator he slides. So this off-season simulator, as it currently stands, it it takes into account club needs, and maybe the balance is wrong there, but also it combines the consensus ranking of Dylan Alexander's rankings, of Kaltumi's rankings, ESPN, and and one other that I'm forgetting. And I think, there's a fifth. And then it combines
Fox.
a consensus ranking. Yes, thank you, Fox.
Ben Waterworth, I reckon.
Yeah. And then it sort of selects based on the average of that. I didn't think Melody should be sliding that much. So that does seem a little bit quirky, but I also think Melody's also probably bolted up into that potentially West Coast pick range now.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think he's if you want to still separate that group of 5, which I still think it's pretty close back to the next group, but then it's Melody and Drever, probably Ethan Matthews in that next group. So he's coming fast. He is coming very, very fast.
We've got a few people talking about the Sydney chat. Says the guy whose team just lost by 9 goals.
Is that to me?
Yeah. Sydney is currently around in the St Kilda Giants position. North is just a perpetual disappointment.
I love this conversation because there's absolutely no way of proving it.
Except for the fact they just lost by 9 goals. What do you mean there's no way of proving it?
It's not proof. It's Jesse, it's the emotional response game.
Yeah.
The emotional response game.
Yeah.
Do you think, though,
yeah, that's how we lose every week too.
Line those players up on paper. Do you think their team is better than us?
I need
You
to have
tipped
a
North.
I have
You
a look at
tipped
it.
North.
I did tip North. Yeah, I did. Yeah, you got me there. But I did say before the game, I said you're crazy about ranking them that low.
Good win.
That team's not bad. It's not terrible.
No, it's not terrible. It's not terrible, but it's lacking of any major potency. Goulden,
Coleman medalist.
absolute star. Charlie Curnow, a star.
Grundy,
a star.
not potent as such, but still a star.
Yeah, very like a top level ruckman, and then it starts to the high end talent starts to dissipate heavily after that. I would say
There's a little shitty part of me that kind of wants them to beat Brisbane week 1 now, just so I can have this moment.
just for that,
Even though I actually want Brisbane to be able to win the flag.
such a bastard. Also, Mark McVeigh. Named as the coach of the Essendon Football Club.
Yes, Essendon got a little criticism during last week, I think, for delaying the decision. Well, I think it's remarkably obvious why they did that now.
So you reckon it was because... Do you think it was because of the Sydney thing, just from a news point of view?
I think
or
a
the fact
PR
that
point of view, yeah.
Because McVeigh was also at Sydney?
Yeah, I think...
Not that there's any idea that he was involved.
No. I think it's just the timing of announcing a senior one of the senior coaches at Sydney as your coach in the middle of like this national scandal with the Sydney Footy Club. I just think they would have wanted to avoid that. And I think everyone would have been like, oh, the timing, Essendon.
Yeah, true.
Everyone would have done that.
Do you think this is a good appointment? Because I'm going to be honest, of all of the guys that were out there, I thought McVeigh was like the last guy that was going to get it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, he's had stints as an interim coach.
GWS, yep.
Hasn't performed particularly well. Now, like that's not necessarily a stick to beat him with. He's got like the Essendon factor, but I don't really like...
I do think that's a bit of a weird thing that they went for. Just they wanted an Essendon person. I suppose it helps to be an Essendon person from that era, but I'm not sure if that's actually the kind of line of thinking that makes you a great club.
Yeah.
Necessarily. You just got to pick the best guy. I have no real opinion on Mark McVeigh. He seems to have a pretty good resume. It is a nice touch that he's part of the Essendon group that was somewhat successful. Was he a premiership player with that group?
I don't think so.
Okay, but still, like he was a player around that 04 period. That was the last time they won their final.
Yeah, he would have been there and played into the...
Yeah.
He did play in the team with James Hird.
Yeah.
I believe.
And Welsh.
Yeah, it just felt, I suppose, like, and there are, like, there's obviously talking points around his relationship to Andrew Welsh, who is obviously making the decision at the end of the day. So, like, they're quite close. The fact that it's fallen with him, like, do you think there's anything there where it's kind of like getting in the guys, getting in the boys?
Yeah, you hope not. Obviously, the that's a link that's easy to be made. I like to think if it was me, I'd care more about, like, I know that, say I'm Welsh, and I was making this decision.
Welsh,
my mate,
Scottish,
Irish, about 1% Welsh actually ethnically. I'd want to make sure my mate was the right guy because optically it would look so bad if
Yeah.
you know, he wasn't. So, you know, I'll assume there's some integrity there. But yeah, it seems like at least with Essendon, I think a lot of people discussed was the integrity there if they just hired James Hird. They didn't do that.
It feels weird to me now though, like with the way that they kind of strung. Now I feel like they strung James Hird along a lot for no reason. Because it doesn't feel like James
strung
Hird...
him along?
Well, it doesn't feel like James Hird really ever had the chance. Like, if you were actually putting him up from a candidate point of view, like, he never really had the chance to win the job. So if he was kind of in for it, he was going to get it. That was my read on it.
Well, it depends entirely on what their dialogue with him was.
Completely.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, we'll consider you out of respect, but, you know, it hurts that you haven't been a senior assistant anytime recently. That's how it could have gone. But yeah, I felt a little bit bad for Hurdy. I've done a bit of a 180 on that. Like, I sort of thought, no way you could bring him back. And then over time, there was a little part of me that was like, oh, it'd be good cinema.
Oh, the sicko in me wanted it.
Yeah.
But I still don't think it was a good idea. But I do have sympathy for him.
Yeah. Like, I thought he was very gracious in the way he handled it. You see, he was on like Footy Furnace and Jamie Bartel asked him about that.
Yeah, like, I actually feel so, like, with being on TV at the same time, it's so, like, it feels so degrading. I don't know, like, I don't mean that in a bad way to him, but it just feels very like he has to almost, like, imagine not getting a job that you really wanted and then also having to, like, go on TV and say how bad it was for you.
Now it's James with the weather. I actually wouldn't mind my club picking up the phone. I reckon there'll be a few clubs that would ring the bell, and I think my club would be one of the first ones where you think, do they have a lot of, like, older heads in terms of the coaching staff, bring a bit of experience and a bit of passion as well. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, okay. I like it. They did say that James Hird is not going to be involved in any capacity in the coaching.
In Essendon?
In Essendon.
Yeah, sorry. I meant I want West Coast to call him and give him a midfield job.
Oh, you want West Coast to call James Hird?
Yeah, I actually think he would be an upgrade.
That's crazy.
It might sound contradictory because I didn't think he should be the senior coach.
Because you wanted him.
But he was sacked in disgrace from that club specifically.
Yeah.
And this isn't a senior coaching gig. But I think he's a quality football person in terms of his pedigree. And my club is desperate.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So,
do you think if this goes wrong over the next 18 months with McVeigh, Hird will get dragged back into this again?
It's entirely possible.
It so is.
It will serve him. He'll be a lot better placed if he's at a West Coast or a GWS, or I think he's been with GWS previously, right?
He's been with GWS.
I think he's at Port Melbourne now.
He's at Port Melbourne now, which is obviously deemed as like quite a level lower, being in the VFL.
Yeah. He'd need a stepping stone.
Yeah, an AFL job.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It is interesting. Logan Costa says Hird will be fine. Would be shocked if this saga doesn't play out all over again. McVeigh's gone. Hird probably gets a chance after an assistant stint somewhere else. 100%.
Yeah. I do kind of love how passionate he is about getting that job. There is a part of me that thinks that's really nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I kind of wish there was an ex-Eagles player as passionate as James Hird about coaching that footy club.
I flip on that from going like, oh, geez, he's got some fire in him.
Yeah,
this guy.
no,
I love this. And then I kind of go, but like, what if he's like
insane?
Yeah, kind of. I actually kind of do. Like, what if he's just unstable and he's kind of...
Well, I suppose that's possible. That's possible.
Yeah, anyway. Sky Blue says Hird will launch a coup. And Sharpie says, please not to the Eagles.
Why not? Just because of the stigma of that terrible transgression 12 years ago? Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I get it. I would want us to interview him, make sure he's not insane, as you put it. But I reckon we could use some experience like that.
Yeah. Eli Luth says, Jesse appointing Dylan as West Coast coach if he was in charge. Oh, you so would. That'd be so you.
You would trade for Dylan Stevens and Zach Fisher, and then you'd leave.
And I'd trade Willem Dersma to North.
Yeah, true. Just secretly swap Dersmas.
Absolutely. Should we get into the games, Jesse?
Yeah, just one little quick tidbit was just Collingwood have pulled out of the Zach Butters race. We'll talk about that during the week, but
gross.
Okay. And member shout outs.
Yes, go.
We got, first of all, different to the memberships on truefooty.com.au, of which we have nearly 5,000. So thank you so much. But we're on YouTube. Yamum7174. It could be a Middle Eastern name, Yamum. But I don't know.
It's probably not.
It's probably not. Brady the Cairo, S. Fletch, Brady, you're on mute, Mick, Dan's, Sean Monagle, Josh Chaos, and Joel Haver. Thank you for becoming members on YouTube.
Love it. I mean, people are big in this James Hird thing. Jacob Richardson says the Hird thing is either die-hard loving passion for Essendon or full-blown megalomaniacal ego stroking. That's exactly it. That's a perfect way to put it.
And you say, I make up words.
That's a word.
I know it is.
Megalomaniacal?
Yeah, no, it is.
Megalomaniacal? Maniacal. Yeah, it's a tricky one to say. Yeah. Spot on. Sky Blue Hawk says Liam Baker looks like he's having regrets, Jesse, before we get into the games.
What would he be regretting? Coming home?
Maybe.
I mean, he left Richmond. I look at it more that we gave up pick 14 for him.
Yeah, I reckon West Coast are having regrets.
Yeah. There is an alternate universe, though, that we say trade pick 30 for him, which is kind of unders anyway. But let's go to the extreme. At 14 and 16 or whatever we took our picks at, we'd probably just go Shanahan anyway.
Yeah.
So I think the outcome is still the same.
That's certainly the best way of making yourself feel better about the whole thing.
Absolutely, yeah. But I'd say he's under. His first year was good. Pick 14 in 24 for him. I don't know if he's in the team in 18 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a battler, and he's a good one.
Yeah.
He's the best battler we have.
He is a battler.
But the talent is thin at West Coast.
Richmond made him... We had a conversation the other week, didn't we, about players who played in premiership sides who get put up on a pedestal.
He's simultaneously a gun and a bit hopeless at the same time. It's just he's so rough around the edges. He does good footballer things. He's tough. He hunts the footy, but he's a bit of a liability past that.
Yeah, he's small.
Yeah, and he's a great ground level player. Yeah, really strong at very clean. And maybe it'll take us a while before he's not needed, but I don't think he's a lock top 10 player at West Coast, and that's saying something.
I know you hate doing this, but I'm just going to take you back to 2024 draft. If you had your original pick, who are you taking?
Hard to go past Jagger, or Harvey. Yeah. I think Jagger probably just suits what we have, what I know we have now.
Yeah,
a little bit better, but you couldn't go wrong with either of those two.
Yep. Sorry to do that to you again.
That's fine.
We will get into the Thursday night game. All the way back to Thursday night, Gold Coast defeated the St Kilda Football Club 103-80, a 23-point win. I got a little stat for you here, Jesse.
Hit me.
This is from Swamp on Twitter. St Kilda became the first side to miss VFL AFL finals for the 100th time. Oh, God.
And they keep extending it as well. Oh, dear. That's unfortunate.
That's gross.
Yeah, a bit of a nothing performance for St Kilda. I think even though they couldn't mathematically play finals, I think it's a bitter end to the season. Overall, I don't think it's a massive failure this season. We've talked about how we think maybe the next 24 months after those big trades that's when you inflate expectations. At the moment, a little bit NAS reliant.
A little bit NAS reliant. And I still think, I essentially see them in that same category where they lack stars.
Yeah.
And they've drafted a lot of players who are 2, 3, 4 years into their careers at the moment, and they're just not there yet.
Yeah.
So I feel, and I always felt like that. Like, you go back to our ladder predictors, I think we had them 11th or 12th ourselves, didn't we?
Yeah.
Basically, we kind of covered that today in one of the videos we did. But they need another year into Philippou, another year into Darcy Wilson. Trevallia's got to get a lot better. Tyru's got to get a lot better. I think when that meshes together and you get improvement from those guys, you have less reliance on NAS, then the recruits can probably bank into a team that's actually kind of connected on the field. I think that's when St Kilda actually start to get that payoff.
Max Hall was probably the biggest success story for them this year.
Unbelievable.
So he's worth a mention too. But who do you think is the more disappointed out of these two clubs with this season? I think it's definitely Gold Coast.
It's Gold Coast, man.
Yeah, it's definitely Gold Coast.
They were winning the flag.
Yeah.
And they were actually winning the flag. They got Petrarca. They got Jamari Ugelhagen. How, a year, well, not a year on maybe, but nearly a year, I guess, from getting those players in the door. How are they looking at that now? Buyer's remorse?
No, like they got Petrarca and Patterson and Ewland all in the same offseason. Like I don't think there's too much buyer's remorse there. And I think Petrarca, at various points this year, has been one of the best players in the comp. So I don't think that's the main issue. And Jamara is a little bit of a extra piece on top. I think the rot there is a little bit more deeper. Right, rather, I don't think it's necessarily to do with those two additions.
Do you think Damien Hardwick will change his stance next year? Like, I find this with Clarko a lot, and we've talked about it a little bit, where you got a champion coach that's been in a system and it's all come together and he's put his heart and soul into it, and then he goes to the Gold Coast Suns and he just keeps talking about Richmond. And it's fucking annoying. Like, I hate when Clarkson does it.
Sure.
And I feel like he's chilled a bit, Clarkson, on that, particularly this year. I haven't heard him do it a lot, but it was all like, I think back to 2007, just before we won the flag with Hawthorn, and, you know, what we were able to do with these two players. And it's like, well, like, we're not in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine for you to do that and reminisce about that, but it doesn't make me feel any better.
Yeah.
And if Hardwick, he's done that a lot in interviews, Hardwick.
Yes.
So if the players are hearing that all the time, I feel like they'd be doing the same thing. They'd be going, oh, fuck this.
Yeah, you could be right there. Yeah. I think we were saying before, this is a nice little finish to the season for the Gold Coast Suns in an otherwise unmitigated disaster. In the end, like a few weeks ago, it looked like Humphrey's gone, King's gone.
You had to skew it positive, didn't you? I was going negative. And you just had to
I love balance. A few other contracted players, Walter, linked to a move away. They re-signed all these guys, extended a few of them, and lost Ben King. And I think to win these last two games from a morale and a belief point of view for next year is massive. I think it's really significant.
Question for you. Would you rather lose Ben King or Jed Walter if you had to lose one?
Well, I need more context, because if Gold Coast were like in the 4, then you'd say Ben King it's a disaster losing him, because it now feels like they're further away. Yeah. Because it now feels, then you're like, well, now we've got a 21-year-old goal kicker.
No, I mean now though, like right now.
Yeah, well, right now probably Jed Walter fits their profile better than Ben King, but Ben King is also a better player right now. So depends what they believe they can do next year.
Yes,
a premiership seems unlikely, but
it does. We talked about it in a video earlier about Matt Rowell and Noah Anderson. Like, you feel. I'm a little bit more confident having watched Matt Rowell over the last 2 to 3 weeks, just the performances that he put in.
Yeah, against the Giants in particular.
Yeah, and like how much it meant to him. Like, I feel like that's a good, like a couple of reasons. Like, it's good going into next year, kind of that form and belief that he can carry in, but also like probably that, you know, potentially he's not leaving now as well, because that was a real worry for them.
Yeah.
It still is, but I've got more confidence.
Yeah. Official UFL, who's a resident Gold Coast fan, I'd rather have Jed Walter. Ben is really good at one thing. Jed is a stud.
I kind of agree.
Fair.
And when you look at the overall, you look at the balance of the team, like the age profile, they can really get Jed like fully formed, you know, when he's like 23, 24 years old and he's starting to come into his prime.
Yeah.
I reckon they'll be licking their lips.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the under 23 talent's immense. Yeah. So, yeah, it's okay that Jed's a little bit younger. It's just a little bit 2 steps back and hopefully 3 forward for the Gold Coast Suns.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if they had lost Walter and Humphrey, then we're having a different conversation. Leo Lombard probably had his best game for the club at the weekend against St Kilda. I know it was a dead rubber, but 14 disposals, 11 score involvements from 14 disposals and 3 goals for Lombard. So he was really good in that game. Ewland had 23 disposals for the season. This is not just from this game. 23 disposals across the season, 400 metres gained while shutting down some of the best opposition forwards. Could you see him winning their best and fairest? Bodie,
possibly. I'm trying to think of a more consistent play. Petrarca, I do think, could bank a lot in the first half of the year.
Was he AA?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but I think depends if they have extreme
Petrarca
games.
If
they have extreme games.
He had some extreme games very early.
I feel like it wasn't that long ago he was still rated number 7 in the comp.
I don't know. I think he's been poor for a while.
Okay. Maybe I've glossed over that a little. To answer your question, I'm trying to think of anyone else who would, at the Gold Coast Suns, surpass Bodie Ewland. That'd be great. A great outcome.
That would.
Just like a intercepting defender, win the BNF.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't say a lot for your team. But,
no, it doesn't.
But I mean, it's just kind of cool.
A medium defender.
Yeah.
He's got something though, Bodie Ewland.
Yeah, he does. You called that at the start of the year.
Here's the guy. So Tawny Out says he was AA squad. Is that Petrarca?
Petrarca.
I
Yeah.
can't remember that. Yeah, okay. I mean, you're kind of right. Like, he has those big forward mid games. I just feel like he hasn't, in the second half of the year, he hasn't really been going. Connor says, if you were doing predictions for each team's BNFs, what would they be, the non-finals teams?
Okay. Essendon, Merritt.
Yeah, clear.
Richmond.
Would Caddy be a shout?
I think he'd be pretty close. 46 goals, pretty strong.
Pretty
I don't know if
impressive.
he'll win it.
Yeah.
That's a high finish.
It's probably Merritt.
I can see Archie Roberts polling well too, but not over Merritt necessarily.
Nah. Richmond? Taranto.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of a single player at Richmond, let alone like a good one.
And then I went, who's that guy that like shanks the ball in the midfield and then kicks heaps of goals?
Yeah. Okay, Richmond. West Coast, Harley.
Yep.
Uh,
Port, Butters.
North.
LDU.
Okay. Who's next?
Gold Coast.
Gold Coast. Oh,
So-
yeah, go Ewland.
Bodie.
Yeah, someone suggested John Noble. Good shout.
Yeah, he's a solid player.
Yeah, but he's also been really consistent every week, and I
Yep.
think the best and fairest will.
I'm just going through the ladder here. So GWS, which feels like it's going to be Clayton.
Someone said Jason Horn-Francis. Butters did miss enough games where they could hurt him, actually. Yeah.
Maybe.
Thank you, James Workshop.
What about Georgiades? I suppose. Less
Yeah, it could
likely
be.
to win a BNF.
Yeah, I feel like
Aliralier.
do key forwards often win them?
They had like what they said. They have 4.
Yeah,
AA.
that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Where are we up to? Sorry,
GWS.
GWS.
So Oliver.
I feel like so many players got injured this year.
Yeah,
Like who played a whole season?
I'm trying.
Clayton Oliver.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh, did you? I
Clayton Oliver.
didn't hear that.
I started there.
Yeah, I'm struggling. I wouldn't say he's like their best player by any stretch, but in terms of players
He
who
was in
actually
the AA
played every
squad.
week, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it must be Clayton Oliver, I reckon.
It's probably Clayton
That's
Oliver.
a good recruit for him.
Far out.
Yeah.
I don't know if they saw that coming with Tom Green.
Nah.
The injury.
It
Like,
worked
just
out.
kind of worked out.
A little
for
bit
them.
like Steele at Melbourne with
Yeah.
Viney injured too.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we at?
Saints.
Naz.
Yeah. That's boring.
Yeah.
That was actually quite easy.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah.
Do we get them all right?
Yes.
Is the question.
Bit of disagreement for Port Adelaide in general.
Bernie Suki says Leo Lombard, Bailey Humphries, Adensel, Goulburn, Rogers, Walter, and Reid are 21 and under. Yeah, it's actually pretty
Well,
crazy.
Yulin's not mentioned there. It's the highest pick.
Yeah, Zeke, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
True. Connor's also said, this may sound dumb, but I don't see the hype around Nate Caddy. I think Shanahan has still shown plenty, and so has Morris, all similar ages.
You go 1 Morris, 2 Caddy, 3 Shanahan.
Yeah.
The athleticism of... Well,
I hear a lot of
particularly the
people say
first
this
2.
about Caddy. Like, they say,
Yeah.
like, I don't see it.
Kicking 46 goals at Essendon.
What
in your
what are you
third or
seeing?
third year? Third year.
Yeah, and he's an athletic freak. He's so fast.
Yeah.
He's got good endurance. He's got a massive leap on him. He's super competitive. He's good at ground level. He kicks goals from like marking the ball in the air in contested situations and on the ground like a small forward.
Yeah.
He's not missing much.
No.
He's going to, like, obviously he'll develop and he'll get more mature and he'll kick more goals as the team gets better. But yeah, it's a lot to like.
Yeah.
A lot to like. And I think Morris has done so well. Like, don't get me wrong. But they're probably... I think in that draft, I think Caddy went 10 and Morris went 31 in the draft. And like Caddy's quite a bit more athletic.
Yeah.
So that would have been the tipping point for why he was just that little bit higher, where Morris is a bit more crafty. And he's done such a good job, but in a very well-oiled machine in the Brisbane Lions.
Yeah.
It's kind of all fallen perfectly for him.
I think Shanahan is the least dynamic of those three, definitely.
He's got nice hands.
Yeah. He needs to add more to his game.
Yep. No, that's good. So we go to Friday night. Brisbane defeating Collingwood. That man, Logan Morris, had an absolute field day. What did he kick in the end? 7? 8 goals.
Yeah. Did a little pirouette in the goal score in the last couple of minutes. And that was really important. We did discuss at the time, because we live streamed it, the idea that Collingwood kicking 6 in a row across the 3rd and 4th terms, I want to say, might have ruined Brisbane's chance of avoiding Fremantle in week 1. In the end, it didn't matter.
Well, they had to win this game. They won by 63 points, right? So if this game had of, just not in an isolated goal sense, but like if they'd have won this by 10 points, I reckon Hawthorn would have got the job done.
Yes, they would have. But I mean, Collingwood kicking 6 in that batch. We thought that might be pivotal.
That could have helped. Yeah, sorry.
But they sort of steadied the ship just enough, and then the rain came in up the stadium, which helped a little too.
Yeah. So what does this game in isolation, what does it say about the season? Like, obviously there's a gap between Collingwood and the Brisbane Lions. Did this kind of like, we did the watch along for this game. So like, did this make you sit back and go like, they're ready for this?
The Brisbane Lions? Yeah. I mean, it was Shoe Snatch and Willie just dropped the super chat saying those, Jesse, who said market was overreacting when Brisbane smashed Swans post-bye. Look a bit Silly now. $2.88 to Freo's $3.10. I mean, I disagree with those odds, but I take your point. But I mean, have Brisbane proven that this isn't just like a flat track yet?
They're a flat track.
No, I'm not accusing them generally of being a flat track, but have they come back so hard enough where I've been proven wrong? I feel like we still have to play out the finals first.
Yeah, I think it's like the only thing that's...
Maybe I'm stretching it a little.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe a little.
I think when you've got 2 premierships in the back pocket...
Of course.
And again...
It's not about the coming for the whole group. I just meant this season.
Yeah.
I don't agree with them being premiership favourites yet.
It's hard though when you're going for a 3rd premiership, like to just have the one season in isolation. Like we can look to the fragility that they've shown at certain points in the season, but then again, when they've had to win, they come back and win. They've ended up finishing 3rd on the ladder, which is probably their best.
Yes.
Their best finish.
Yeah. I think they finished 3rd last year.
Which is crazy because their profile, like their overall, like the way that they're doing things this year from a consistency point of view across the season doesn't really come close to what they've done in other seasons.
Yeah.
So there's something there. There's something that you can tap into. But again, when they're put in front of a pretty good team in Collingwood who wanted to test them, they get the job done, right?
Yeah.
They get Hawthorn at the Gabba the other night. They just smack them up.
Yeah. I guess to reorganise my thoughts, they're clearly one of 2 premiership contenders, and it's pretty even. So I don't mean to downplay them too much. And the fact that they're in this position means that I was probably wrong when I originally made that statement. So I'll concede that. But to me, the fact that they smash Hawthorn by 10 goals and Collingwood by 10 goals, I don't know if it's more compelling than a 15-point win, aside from the ladder implications, because of what we've seen before.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That down form in the middle of the year was so concerning that a 10-goal win at the MCG and then at the Gabba doesn't completely erode that for me.
Okay. You do love Freo though.
I do love Freo.
You've got an absolute...
I love talking about them all the time.
He's got the hots for Freo. He absolutely does. Bernie Suki says, Brisbane Lions is a dynasty. Is 2 premierships a dynasty? Do you still call that a dynasty?
That's a good question.
It's just a group of winning, isn't it? A dynasty.
A group of winning. It's a collective noun.
Yeah, like it's not it doesn't have to be like... You don't have to.
It's a period of dominance.
But it doesn't have there's no strict guidelines on that. Like it's not like once you win 3, that's a dynasty.
It's just purely subjective. I feel like 3 might be the number. How many teams have just won 2 though? All the teams that I can think of that were like good and dominant actually won 3.
Yeah,
Hawthorn,
I know.
Richmond, Brisbane, and Geelong.
Yeah, you never. Although Geelong's was spaced out, it wasn't.
That's
in a
true.
row.
Yeah, that's right. Not in a row, but over a period of time.
Over a period of time.
But no one in the last 25 years has just won 2.
Just won 2. Yeah.
So this is the first, potentially, the first...
Is there something in the fact that, like, by winning 2, because nobody, also, on top of that, no one's won 4.
Yeah, someone's won 4. Not in the last 25 years. But historically, yes.
In like the 20s.
58, I reckon. I could be wrong.
No,
I think it was the 50s, wasn't it?
I thought it was in the 20s.
Wasn't it Melbourne?
Collingwood.
Yeah. 4 in a row. I thought it was the 50s. It doesn't really matter.
Melbourne might have won 4 in a period. I don't think they won 4 in a row. I think Collingwood was the team that won 4 in a row, but it was like fucking ages ago.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
Modern era, say like since 1980, no one's won 4 in a row.
No.
And no one's won 2 in a row, maybe, since the 90s.
Yeah.
No, the Crows did.
Richmond did.
The Crows did.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's the last example of a team winning 2 and then not winning anymore.
Yeah. 97, 98.
Yeah. Richmond won 2 in a row.
Let's go since 2000, so this works. Since 2000, nobody's won 2 grand finals in a row. Is that right?
Richmond. 19 and 20.
Yeah, but then they won 3.
Okay. Yes. Then, yes.
Yeah. So, like, there's a hunger to win the third, but then the hunger drops off before you win 4.
Yeah.
Did we ruin it?
Yeah, probably. No, you were right. Pies 1927 to 1930. Sorry. I had 58 in my mind.
Rogie would be all over that. I reckon it's because Melbourne, the D's were...
I think the D's won in 58.
The D's won in
I just had it in my head.
They won a lot in that period. I reckon maybe they won 4 in a period, maybe.
They won 55, 56, 57,
59.
not 58, and 59 and 60? Is that right?
Wow, yeah.
That's absurd.
I know that because they've won about 12, 13 flags, the D's in total.
Yeah, right.
And like they were almost all in like the one grouping of error.
Yeah.
Like they haven't had very many successful errors. It's compared to other clubs.
Plasma Screen points out the Lions and the Hawks have made 4 grand finals in a row. That's true. And Richmond nearly did. They lost the prelim in 18.
Yeah. And Brisbane 23 made the granny as well.
Yeah, so that would make this 4.
This is 4.
Yep.
And you always point out the fact that Brisbane won 3 back in the early 2000s and lost to Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
And Freo would put the Port Adelaide in this scenario.
Well, no, because they lost to Collingwood first. So this would be 3 in a row with the loss on the other side. I feel like we've spent
That's
too much
what I'm
time
saying.
on this.
Port Adelaide are the Freo in this. Like Freo are the Port Adelaide in this situation.
Well, that means that Freo would win.
Yeah. To you. That's your take. That's how you think it's going to go.
Well, yeah, I have tipped Freo.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But that doesn't make it a mirror of 2003.
But you specifically use that as a...
Okay, I'm with you.
Yep. Okay, Connors_5 says, who is you guys calls for Gary Ayres Award, best finals player? I think with form, Walsh is in. Would be hard for... Yeah, okay.
I mean, they have to win one. They actually have to win like 3.
They have to do a lot. Who would early Crow? Who would you go for the best finals player?
It could be Will Ashcroft.
He does like a big game.
He does. I'm thinking like a tough type for some reason, as opposed to like a...
Why is that? Because my brain does that automatically too, and then I try to adjust a bit after the fact. But my brain, when I think of like Norm Smith medalist, it's always like a bloody...
forward or an outside mid?
No, the opposite. It's a tough... It's like a bloody... Like
okay, fair, yeah. Well, that's true. A midfielder usually.
Inside mid.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who would win it at Freo. Could be Brayshaw.
Yeah. Just solid.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 performances. The Walsh call is a good one.
Yeah, well, I think he won one previously, didn't he?
Oh, has he?
Unless I'm tripping?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I think people just wanted him to win it and he didn't. I can't remember. It would have been 24, 23.
What if the Hawks have a run and it's like Giant Newcomb?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Well, he was an amazing finals performer last year.
Yeah, or like a Will Day. Go for that leaner type midfielder.
Yeah, more eel-like.
Very much. We move on. The Brisbane and Collingwood game is done. Both of those teams have qualified for the final. So we move to Carlton and Fremantle. Fremantle, Jesse, have now lost 3 of their last 8 matches. They lose to Carlton, who on the sort of like form ladder at the moment are sitting top of the ladder since Josh Fraser took over in round 10.
Crazy.
They won this one by 37 points at, I think it was at Marvel Stadium.
Yep, Marvel.
119 to 82. Now, I actually did not watch this game, Jesse.
Didn't you?
I did not watch this game because I was at my Dandenong Stingrays and Eastern Rangers down at Dingley watching under-18 football, and I didn't get a chance to watch it back.
I think I was recording a podcast for the first half and I watched the second half. That's what happened.
We're in great shape here.
Yeah, no, I did enjoy this because I tipped Carlton. My feeling towards this game was that Fremantle would be gettable for reasons thrice. Marvel Stadium factor.
I love reasons thrice.
Reasons thrice. Marvel Stadium factor. They're good everywhere, to be honest, but Marvel's not a ground they've conquered. Carlton, prickly.
Freo.
Yeah. Well, they've had some bad losses there. Maybe I'm extrapolating too much, but I was right. Carlton's not a team they play their best footy against. And it's them.
Why do you think that is?
Well, it's hard to diagnose exactly why. I think it actually started just from shithousery, like Jack Noons kicking a goal after the siren at Optus and a controversial free kick late in gather round of 24. that cost them the game. It might have been 23, 24. So there was this narrative, right? But the results were generally just trend that Carlton would upset them and or be way harder for them than it should have been. I think early this year was closer than people would have expected when Voss was still coach. It was like 14 points or something.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah.
I know they caught up late, but still. Not a dominating game. But the curious thing is that Carlton have completely flipped their profile. So it's not even a game style thing as such. But obviously they got the better of them in this game.
I think they did beat them in contested possession in this game though.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I do think that like Fremantle would, I'm sure, rank higher for contested ball this year. So I think that's a little bit of the dead rubber coming into it.
Let's have a look. I'm intrigued.
Well, I think St Kilda are the number one contested ball side by differential this year.
Are they?
Yeah. And Fremantle.
I knew that improved. I didn't know that'd be the...
Yeah, well, it might not be differential. Run both for me, Jamie.
Yeah, I'm just looking into it.
It might not be differential, but it's certainly contested ball in one of the metrics.
I'm more
but Fremantle and Brisbane are generally always high.
You are absolutely spot on with this one, Jesse. St Kilda are number one in the competition, plus 7.3 against their opponents for contested possession.
That's ball knowledge.
In 2026. Who is number two?
Fremantle?
No, Carlton.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I thought that they had dipped in that when their turnover game improved.
Fremantle are seventh in the competition.
Wow. Okay. I must have just seen at some point they were first and I carried that in my mind.
Does that... You're starting to see cracks appearing in this Dockers armour.
You would love that, you saucy devil. I'd love to say that's the case, but no, I don't think. I think season starts fresh finals. Fremantle will rampage their way to a grand final.
Yep. You love them.
They are rampant.
Absolutely love them. Bernie Sugi says, if Jaya misplayed, they would have won. 37-point turnaround?
No, I just think Fremantle were off. He's an important player, but I just don't think they were at their best.
I completely agree. I think this is one of those ones, and I mentioned the losing 3 of their last 8. I think they're probably struggling a little bit for motivation in the back half of the year, and then you compound that with travel, the reasons thrice that you mentioned. Not sure if Jack Noons actually has any part in this, but
not this time. But in saying that, I don't want to downplay Carlton too much. They were electric.
So how far can the Blues go?
It's a really good question because we were discussing that their run to a prelim might all be at the MCG. So I think that would be playing Melbourne, playing Geelong, and then playing Hawthorn maybe.
Which would be a nice run.
As far as this goes, yeah.
The only thing is, I think if they were coming up against the Ds, I feel like that's the really strong wildcard fixture.
Yeah.
So Collingwood and Western Bulldogs is the weak one. And then I feel like I'd probably still tip Melbourne to beat Carlton in week 1 of the wildcard. Yeah, I think so.
I think I'm going Carlton.
Yeah.
Your two loves.
My
clashing.
two loves.
Yeah,
my Blues.
You've been on both trains this year.
Remember that top 6 call?
Yeah.
It would. So if they won a wild card, where does that put them? That puts them top 6, doesn't it?
Top 8.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
My maths was off there.
But you put them 8th anyway, didn't you?
I did put them 8.
But you said top 6 and then the next week you made a video
and they were 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
So that's what we call buying 2 tickets to the train.
That's called good contenting.
Yes.
Just,
hedging bets, etc.
Yes. Which is exactly what you're doing with Freo, because I've said this numerous times. You tip Freo to win it and you get it both ways.
Yeah, that's definitely true, but I actually do think they're the best team. It's hard to argue with that from a football argument point of view.
If you said you didn't think that they were the best team, it would ruin the...
Well, I would just lose twice.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think they've earned favouritism.
I feel like I look deep when you say it about Freo. I'm looking deep into your eyes, and it's like there's something where you're
something wrong.
Yeah. It's like you don't believe what you're saying or something.
No, I do believe in that. I can't account for grand final day. The Brisbane Lions come out at full threat. I think probably Brisbane win in that scenario, but.
Oh, go on.
Like if they get Brisbane, who have showed up to the last 2 grand finals in the same form, yeah, that's going to be tough. But
so
my
you think
prediction
they're going to get a
Fremantle.
wounded Brisbane?
I think if Fremantle come to play as well, I think through a war of attrition, they'll break the damn wall at some point in that game. That's my prediction. I'm going to look like such a fucking genius if this is correct.
But if they lose, you'll
I'll
be
look like an
really,
idiot.
really happy. But you'll be really
Yeah.
happy and just go like, fuck them.
But think of the views. If we're live streaming grand final day and Fremantle win by 10 goals, can you think of the view count? That you, the Murphy Reid hater, and me, the West Coast fan.
All I picture is either way, whether Freo are winning or losing, you'll have your shirt off and you'll be tweaking your nipples.
Yeah, well, I do that most shows anyway.
Okay, Saturday night, while this one was taking place, actually no, it wasn't Saturday. It was more like an afternoon fixture. This one, the Western Bulldogs defeated Melbourne 108 to 87, a 21-point win for the Western Bulldogs. I gave this absolutely no chance of happening. I thought Melbourne, this was just going to be a complete sit and steer job. They had everything to play for. The Dogs had really nothing to play for.
That's true.
And I thought this was an incredibly disappointing loss for what Stephen King's kind of... it feel in a way, I almost feel like you could say this loss made their season like... It ruined their season.
Yeah. I mean, when it ruins a big word, just because I think they'll look back no matter what happens from here and be like, wow, what a ride. But at the same time, it ruins their chances of going deep, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And especially like Carlton in their first wildcard game. It's not an easy fixture, right?
No.
And then I think that would become potentially Adelaide away. So it's a huge blow, but I think in time they'll heal from it. It's the sort of win from the Bulldogs that kind of just makes you sit up and go, have we been underselling them a little bit? I think it's fair to say they haven't been playing amazing footy this year. But they have made some moves like resting Bont in a game that, you know, they needed to win and not sending Norton and Wakeman over to Perth. And you're like, what are they managing their list for? Like, they've got to play finals first.
Yeah.
But are they actually just, with a depleted list, are they actually just like priming at the right time? And could they be a team that goes a little bit deeper than we're giving them credit for?
No.
Okay.
No, I was actually, if you look at their profile, I think they're ranked for offense with the ball stuff. They're ranked like 13th or 14th in the competition. True. Like they've had a really, really poor year.
Yeah.
Their record against the top sides, I think it's 3 wins, 6 losses. This is against the top 6. And if you take away like the first 2 to 3 rounds of the season, that's down to 1 win against the top 6.
So I'd love to know their profile in 2016. No, I'm not.
Oh, it was
I'm
bad.
not drawing a comparison, but
it was
I'm just
bad.
saying.
I mean, the only connection to the 2016 game is the club, right? At this point, though.
Yeah, of course.
And maybe Marcus Bontempelli. Yeah. Which is, I think, when you're looking at the Western Bulldogs and their credentials to win anything, like there's always with a team like the Western Bulldogs, and I think how they've been built from a list management point of view, like there's always a bit of a threat because you've got Marcus Bontempelli, like he does in this game, like there was that moment where he does that handball, like he's being tackled, he's out the back of the stoppage, and he plays that forward handball through to Ed Richards, who breaks away. And you look at those two players and the form that they've had at different stages this year, like they are going to win the Western Bulldogs a lot of games. If the game's on the line, they will win it for you. So just on talent alone, I think you can't fully write them off. But as a team and as a collective and as an organised unit, I feel like they're no chance to win a premiership.
I don't think they're a chance to win the premiership. I just think we've probably discarded them a little bit. Like this was a good win. They've beaten Melbourne twice now.
Yeah, but it was also it was a good win, but it kind of was meaningless for them. Like it didn't help them at all.
No, but it's some
they might just go
they've
out.
enhanced the legitimacy a little bit.
I feel like this is the sort of win that under like the last few years under Luke Beveridge, they have this win and then they'll go and get beaten by Collingwood.
It could happen.
And it was all for nothing.
Do you think this might be a good segue into this whole MCG talk? Are you aware of the conversation around the Western Bulldogs hosting Collingwood at their home ground in the finals?
I get it. Yeah, I get I haven't actually seen that as a talking point.
Yeah,
so it'll be at the G.
Yeah, it is. It's confirmed to be at the G, and obviously the Bulldogs don't host games there generally.
Sure.
So Collingwood get the away final at their own home ground. It's certainly not the first time that's happened. When they've played Geelong in finals, the same thing happens. But I think it's fair to point out that this is an absurdly unfair thing. I know we just kind of accept it. I know the big crowds are a factor. I know the AFL's not going to change it, but I also care about competitive integrity, and I think the Bulldogs feel quite within their rights to be like, fuck this.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess it's a hard one to. It's because at the moment that the AFL decided that they were going to bring basically like all of the teams in Victoria, or sorry, not in Victoria, in Melbourne. They brought all of the teams away from their local grounds. Like, we're not going to build like a bunch of different stadiums like they have in the UK or whatever.
Yeah.
We're going to play all the games at these two stadiums, the MCG and, you know, I guess at first the idea of that would have been to play at Waverley, and then they got rid of Waverley and they made it Docklands or Marvel or whatever, right? So you've got these two grounds. I don't know. Like, so you basically can't make it fully fair. Is what I'm trying to say there.
Yeah. But you could with this in this scenario.
But you could make it more fair, right?
Yeah.
So I sort of agree with you on that overall, albeit you're always kind of playing. Like, when you're a Melbourne team, you sort of don't have to play as many games away, so you win there, but then you lose because you don't have a natural home ground advantage either.
That's true. Yeah.
And that's not. There's no way that's fixing anytime soon.
No. Like 50 years maybe.
What you think it should have just got played at Marvel?
Yeah, I think that would be the fair outcome. Yeah, and I think Geelong should play their home games at GMHBA.
Yep.
But there's too much money to be lost.
Yeah.
For that to ever happen.
Yeah. Which is going back to why I brought up the like the local football grounds, is like that was the reason that they did this in the first place, right? Because it was too much money to put into that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's a reasonable position to take.
We've got a bit going on in the chat. Blair says, where you guys see Blues list for Rising Star noms, is that where do we see their list?
Yeah, I think so.
For Rising Star noms, so Billy Wilson announced as the Rising Star for 2020 for round 24.
So that's what Jagger,
Dean, and Byrne,
and then you got Ison.
Yeah, he's played some good footy.
He hasn't been in the team lately, has he, Ison? But he came on the scene earlier.
Did he not play this game?
Actually, I'm not 100% sure.
Let us know in the chat. Well, their list is in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
It has to be said. Like, they're suddenly brimming with young talent, getting pick 1 or 2 this year. Beneficiaries of the father-son rule, to be fair. Traded really aggressively to get Jagger. But as far as this transition goes, suddenly we were talking at the start of the year or midway through the year, how does this team cope with Tasmania coming in? And now you're like, they're probably one of the best placed lists. They've still got some holes in that best 23, but Karmas, Amadi, I don't think are world beaters, but they at least play those roles. I think they're in a great spot.
Them being able to get maximum value out of the players that walked out last year was like the best thing that possibly could happen. Like De Koning and Curnow, which felt, again, like at the time, it felt like that was the end of an era for them because they'd had these finals runs. It looks like basically brilliant management now.
Yeah. Ison hasn't played since round 18. I feel like I was just looking at him recently.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like he came in the middle of the season and sort of... He's in this thumbnail.
Yeah, I have him... I was looking at him recently. I don't know. The Dogs winning was a massive up yours to AFL House and the media that was salivating for a Pies Blues wildcard game. True. I think we're all kind of hoping that.
Yeah, I wanted that so badly.
Yeah.
So badly. If that had have happened, who would have won that game?
Collingwood.
Do you reckon? Just the history of them?
Yeah, just the mental edge that they have. Yeah, but it's tip Collingwood. That being said, few outs for the Pies.
Few outs for the Pies, absolutely. Boy says, Tim Gossage and David King are doing the same. This is on the Freo thing. We'll claim they called it if Freo win it, but we'll be happy if they lose. Get on the train. Love the Dockers.
I don't know. I just I don't want to see Freo win the flag, but at the same time, when my team is so bad, like I've lost that competitiveness with them.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that was like, I never wanted to see this, but there's no real ego there.
Do you enjoy them? Like genuine, like this is a genuine question. Like, do you go like, oh, Sarong, that's nice?
No, but I actually think like when you watch like some of these players like interview post game, you're like, he seems nice. Like Brayshaw. I like Brayshaw.
Yeah, so you actually genuinely really like them.
No, it's weird. I like the individuals and then put them as an entity on the field. I'm like, ugh, stop kicking goals. We don't do that, nor should you.
Oh dear. Brass says Ed Richards is carrying them about the Dogs, and Bernie Sugar says English and Darcy are huge outs regardless. They are in trouble.
And Norton in some doubt too.
English has a chance, apparently.
Yeah, okay.
A chance.
Yeah, I don't think he's been ruled out. And I was hearing discussion of Norton today. I think he's in doubt, but I'm not sure. Those are big outs too. Yeah.
It just feels like you can't just keep getting like Ed Richards and Bontempelli putting the whole team on their shoulders. Like I know that's being a little bit underplaying some of the other performances, but like they've been everything to that team
in particular.
Boy says, the saviour, Errol Goulden, to tear Brisbane apart in week 1. Any chance?
Brisbane apart? Not Brisbane. No. They did pump them earlier in the year, but I feel like we're a long way from that now.
Yes.
Andrew has taken exception to something I've said, but I'm not sure. Was it the Freo thing?
Probably.
I didn't think what I said was too spicy.
No. I think you said you liked Freo.
No, you said that.
Okay, Geelong and Richmond. The Cats defeated the Tigers on Saturday night in the wet at GMHBA, 133-76, a 57-point win. And I read this. I'm not 100% sure if this is true. I didn't properly fact check it. Geelong have finished in the top 6 for the 19th time in the past 23 seasons.
Yeah, I reckon that's right.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I reckon it's right because, I mean, I don't recall them finishing 8th too much. I think they did in 2018, weirdly that I remember that.
Yeah,
and they missed finals in 15.
Drop-off year. One.
Yeah, so they missed after their flag in 23. They missed in 15.
That's right. That's the one I'm thinking of.
They missed in 06. And then 8th in 2018, and that's 4 or 5. That's 4.
That's 4.
That's 4. That might be all of them.
That's it.
So if there's any more than that, then the stats are wrong. Because I'm confident about those. How many years? Sorry, 23 years?
23 seasons.
Maybe they're excluding 06 then.
Maybe.
Because it's, random, arbitrary
year to pick up. It might be the point that they started to make the stat look as juicy as possible.
Yeah, so there must have been another year where they finished like 7th or 8th, I'd say.
Yep. This is Richmond, after losing this one by 57 points. Their lowest percentage in history.
Whose?
Richmond's.
Yeah.
They finished with their lowest percentage in history.
Interesting. It has been a bleak period.
It has.
It has been a bleak period. It's just every time I watch them closely, they're killing us. So I'm like, Richmond are doing fine.
Yeah.
But then you sort of zoom out a little bit.
We did a video on the Tigers, like on the bottom teams.
Yeah.
Essentially, like to rate their season. And I actually do find them a particularly tricky team to rate because I didn't have any expectation of them at all this season. They've won, 3 games? They finished 17th on the ladder. But I don't know, like what did we... It's clearly been a poor year, but I don't know how much, like where we apportion blame with them. It's tricky.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's annoying to be in that position where injuries have been a factor for them and therefore you're sort of left with this doubt about where to put the blame.
Yeah.
It's an uncomfortable place to be.
It is. You can't categorically say, they've gone to, like they haven't drafted well because we just don't know. And like a lot of those players we haven't actually even seen, for example. That's why like I look at I feel like next year, if you're looking at Richmond, like they probably need something out of someone like a Josh Gibkiss, right? That player that was actually drafted like before this group of players. And then I don't think you can have too much expectation on the 2024 and 2025 crop to like lift you up the ladder. But they've got...
I think they've just got a gaping hole in their age demographic. You've got a few veterans that, to be honest, like not contributing massively.
Such as?
Well, I mean, how much do they really rely on like a Tom Lynch or a Prestia? I mean, and who just retired?
Boston. Broad,
yeah. Like it's a stretch to say they're relying on those guys, but Taranto puts in a shift.
Doesn't he ever?
Hopper has been a little questionable, with all due respect. And Seth Campbell's probably still part of the younger group. So it's just those guys in their prime they're lacking, right? I think there was an admission of where they're at with their list in 24 when they did a fire sale. So I think they've brought that on themselves on purpose and they're just gritting their teeth and getting through it. And just, obviously the injuries to their young players has been probably the most devastating aspect of the last year or two.
Yeah, 100%. Like if you compare, we were talking about Carlton before, who like maximised an opportunity to get a lot of value out of the players that wanted to leave. Richmond did the same thing. The difference was Carlton had a better framework around that already on field, right? So they had the Patrick Crippses and Harry Mackay, even though people they got Wiedering it behind the ball. Like they've got they've got a good spine. Yeah. Essentially, that Richmond don't necessarily have, and then the injuries have compounded that even more.
I mean, they were one of the youngest teams in the comp, and Carlton would be above average, I would have thought. I'll double check that.
Yeah, exactly. If you're looking at, I mean, these two teams are competing heavily with each other, I would say, in the future, West Coast and Richmond. Who's got a better a better team? And I'm not even just talking about the young talent there.
Just
Like,
head to head?
Yeah, who's got more talent?
So like right now, based
Right
on
now.
their current ability.
Absolute current. And I'm even talking about, like, you look at the key defenders and you go, okay, they've got Ben Miller. Is he better than anything you guys have got?
No, Jimby.
Would you? Yeah, Jimmy's
Yeah.
an undersized guy, but
Yeah, still. He's done jobs on some big forwards. Much of a muchness, honestly. Like, we probably play on average better most weeks, but they beat us every time. So
Yeah.
I just can't split them, to be honest.
Hmm.
I think we're in very similar positions.
McQualter versus Uze?
I don't have a strong opinion on Uze.
No, I don't either.
I'm comfortable with McQualter.
I'm quite impressed with McQualter as
Yeah.
a neutral fan. I
Yeah.
feel like just the way that he, and maybe maybe he's selling me a lemon in the sense like he gets into the.
He's a good talker.
He's a great talker. Like
he makes you think everything's going to be okay.
he makes you think everything's going to be okay, but he's just he just speaks with a lot of clarity.
He does, yeah.
And he explains what they're trying, like what you're trying to do,
Yes.
really, really well.
I agree. Yeah. So from that point of view, yeah, he comes across better.
Yeah.
But it's too early to say who's the better coach out of those two.
Mm.
But Richmond, there was some hope of them claiming pick 1. They will take pick 2 to the draft, and I think it's unlikely to get Zach Butters. So
I was going to say, do you think that? Do you reckon that's done anything to them?
I don't think it would really affect Butters' decision. You know what I mean? It becomes more of a headache if Butters then chooses Richmond and they don't have pick 1. But in my honest opinion, I don't think he gets to Richmond.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, probably not.
But well, what I'll say is losing pick 1 hasn't hurt their chances or helped their chances.
I think so too.
It'll be Butters will go where he wants to go, and the rest will come after that.
Yeah. From a draft perspective, I think it's pretty negligible.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're just picking.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if Essendon and Richmond would have the same guy at pick 1.
No.
You know, like I think Richmond probably more in a position to go the ruckman out of the two teams.
More, yeah, exactly. I don't think Essendon will go the ruckman, but if they got to draft night and they did, then Richmond have kind of got their pick of the best, you know, sort of small forward mid type player. They get to choose between both of them. If Essendon pick Archie Butler, then they can pick the ruck if they want, or they've still got another top end like small forward into Shearer. So I feel like they can't really lose.
Yeah,
in that scenario.
Exactly. We have a super chat here from Tubby Josh. Any worries? Thank you, Tubby. Any worries with the Geelong midfield losing clearance 2 weeks in a row to shit teams? Taranto about to win a third BNF in 4 years.
Geelong have never been that good at clearance, or at least for a while.
Yeah, Richmond kind of build like that. They're pretty strong at clearance, aren't they? Relatively speaking, aren't they?
Probably not competition wise, but Taranto is a good clearance player.
I think it's a relative strength for them. Let me rephrase it like that. Let's find out where they've ranked for clearance.
Yeah, have a bit of a look at that. I still think they would be in the bottom half of the table.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you might be right on.
I didn't mean to suggest they'd be top end, but they're like 7th last, and they're above Adelaide and 1 behind Geelong.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a problem for Geelong.
They're almost dead even actually. Geelong and Richmond for clearances. Geelong have just had this thing where like they basically just they just put more of a importance on protecting the outside of the game. They're the best they're clearly the best transition team in the competition.
Yeah.
So they want speed on the outside as opposed to and they're obviously they've got guys behind the ball like O'Sullivan and Stewart who can intercept.
Yep.
So they're happy for you to win the clearance and kick the shit out of it, and then they'll just mark it and put it straight back over your head, basically.
Yeah.
So no issue for Geelong.
Some conversation in the chat about how Richmond rely too much on their senior players. And I'm just looking at the player ratings. Their top-ranked players are Nankervis, Taranto, Ross. Lawler is 4th, Campbell's 5th, Ralph Smith is 6th, Bolter, Miller, Broad. I think that's pretty similar to West Coast. I
was going to say, is that an over-reliance?
No, I don't think so. I think West Coast you'll find Waterman, Harley, Jinby. So 2 of those are young. And then Kelly would be in there.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty similar.
Yeah. I'm trying to
I can actually just look up West Coast.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, we'll stay on Geelong.
Happy Boy says, I think it's from 04 to now for Geelong. So that was back to that graphic that I had. Geelong cheat, says Lord Rogue. Maybe, but we don't have proof, do we? Where do you think Jeremy Cameron should play? Says Finnebot 22.
We should play in the forward line. I think him playing on the half-back flank was probably just a conditioning thing. Get some kilometres in.
Yeah.
And probably play a less physical role.
Jeremy Cameron is one of those players for me where if I turn Geelong on and he's playing, I just think there's like an infinitely better chance that they're going to win the game.
Yeah, totally.
It's
not crazy. He's one of the greats, Jeremy Cameron. Yeah.
He just gets it done.
Yeah.
He's such a good finisher.
Yeah. I think a huge wild card for the Cats this final series. It's crazy to call him a wild card, but I just mean a big
Well, he is
input.
because there's almost been a feeling that like they haven't really had him for the season and they weren't going to get him back. Yeah. So if he can put it together, I know he's had problems with that arm essentially, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like had nerve issues and stuff from that break, which was sickening.
Yeah, it was in the grand final, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was gross.
Didn't he stay on? Didn't he play through it? Yeah, he did.
Nuts. Absolutely nuts. We move on to the Adelaide versus GWS game. Adelaide won this one by 56 points. I thought it was a bit of a danger game.
So did I.
157 to 101, but the Crows, I don't know, like it was just they were just a bit too good, weren't they, for the Giants?
Oh, yeah.
I know we say this every week, but it's like I always want to make a thing of like, it was the Giants' season, a microcosm of their season. You know what I mean? Like, but they're just a weird team.
Absolute shootout. This game. It's been one of the highest scoring games of the round.
Of
the year.
This round was the highest. Did I say that off the top?
You said it to me. I can't remember if you said it.
Yeah, it was the highest scoring round because obviously a lot of dead rubbers. Teams played very open attacking football. So it was I think it was a good tune up for the Crows coming into the finals, but I'm still not sure about Adelaide overall when you look at their profile, Jesse.
Yeah. Look, one thing to speak to something Adelaide didn't have last final series. Isaac Rankin. He's having he's on a tear, Dylan. An absolute tear. 35 disposals, 12 clearances in this game, 10 score involvements and 4 goals. 35 and 4. That comes after the last 4 games, which were 21 and 3, 36 and 1, 39 and 1, 35 and 4. I remember watching like highlights of him as a junior and thinking this kid just like he's playing a different game to everyone else, and now he's starting to do it at AFL level.
He's starting to actually take the piss.
I feel like he could be like next year, maybe in the Cozzy Pickett sort of region of the top players of the comp. I just mean fair, nudge up.
He's already
Cozzy.
Scratched that surface, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, I don't think he's talked about like a top 10 player, but I'm just saying next year, maybe he's just finally hit that level.
He's a star. He's an absolute star. On the negatives, though,
Enough of that silly positive stuff.
He's a good player, whatever. But you're right. Obviously, wasn't there for the finals for Adelaide. They go out in straight sets. I'm a bit worried about their profile, though, Jesse. They're ranked 11th in the competition with the football.
Yeah,
the Adelaide Crows. So they don't particularly move it, I think, well enough. I think that starts from half back. They don't have they've even played Isaac Rankin in these last few weeks. They've tried to get him receiving the ball a bit deeper so they can move it a little bit better. I think overall they defend pretty well behind the ball. They kick long to contest, but it's a grind for the Adelaide Crows. They rely a lot on their key position players to represent, get up to those contests. Against the top 6 teams, we've got 2 wins and 5 losses.
Yeah, so let's go through them. I reckon 3 of those losses were away at least off the top of my head, maybe 4. So I think they lost to Hawthorn in Tassie.
Yep.
They lost to Freo in Perth.
Yep.
And at home.
And at home.
They lost to Geelong away.
Yep.
And at home, actually.
They lost to Geelong twice too, have they?
Yeah, I think so. I think they played in like round 2 or round 3. Geelong beat them in GMHBA, and then they beat them again. And then they lost to the Brisbane Lions at the Gabba.
So the 2 wins against the top teams are Sydney by 16 at the SCG.
That's true, yeah.
And Geelong by 1 point at Adelaide Oval.
Did they win that game?
They beat Geelong by a point at Adelaide Oval.
In my head, I thought Geelong won that game by a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. My bad.
No.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So Freo twice by...
Weird.
The positive in this is that 3 of those games they lost by less than 10 points. Freo, Geelong and Hawthorn. But they haven't been able to consistently do it against the best.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Finishing 6th is about where I rank them in the comp.
Yeah, I think I had them 7th.
Yep. Yeah. So, look, for them, the challenge is to win a final. And that would be an improvement on last year.
So what's that going to look like in a final? They're going to take
They'll either play
the top ranked wild card.
play Melbourne or Collingwood, I think.
Melbourne.
Or the Western Bulldogs. I think all that's possible. I don't think it's possible for them to play Carlton. I think that's the only thing that can't happen.
You did say that.
Yeah.
Is there a chance they go out in, well, not straight,
in their first final? Well, I actually think they'd beat Melbourne, and I think they'd beat Carlton. I think the Collingwood one they would struggle against just because of Collingwood's dominance of that ground. Like, they were only there like a month ago.
That'd get scary for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they don't have this, that's what I'm saying, with their offensive profile, like they don't have the ability just to smack teams down.
No.
Like they don't have that ruthless.
They should with the quality of the individuals in that forward
Just
line.
the way they play though.
Yeah.
It's grueling.
Shoe Snatch and Willie has dropped a super chat. Thank you. 23 prelim and choking 24 will haunt GWS for years.
23 prelim plus choking 24 will haunt GWS. So 23 was the Collingwood.
Yep. Unbelievable game.
Yeah.
24, I don't even remember their season. They play finals?
Did they went out and 24, I know what that happened.
Oh, yeah,
Brisbane.
straight set. Sorry, yes, you're right.
But they had Brisbane. The game was,
yeah.
I still remember
They
that.
led both games by like 7 goals, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Swans in the
Yep.
in the first one. And the Brisbane game, I still remember that because I was at home watching it and I actually left because I'm like, this is over.
Yeah.
And like, I think I needed to get something to eat. So I went out to pick up something and I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter anyway. Like the game's done.
Yeah.
It wasn't done.
Imagine what would have happened had GWS beaten Brisbane in week 2.
Well, imagine
Well, they would have... Geelong might have won the premiership again.
Yeah.
Because then Geelong would have beaten GWS, I think, in a prelim. And then Geelong would have played Sydney in the grand final again.
So you reckon Geelong beat Sydney?
I think on grand final day they would. Yeah,
probably.
Geelong, I thought were the true second best team in 24th. They were unreal. In that prelim where Brisbane beat them, that was one of the best games I've ever seen. Just like two unbelievably good sides.
Just going at it.
And that's where I decided, and I think I wasn't the only one, was like, that's next year's grand final. And it ended up being the case.
That's where you got that from.
What?
That next year's grand final.
Yeah. From that game, I literally thought that those will be the best two teams.
It's funny how you said that with the Giants. Like, imagine if that had have happened. Because imagine if they had beaten Collingwood in the 23 prelim too, which was 1 point.
Yeah, would they have beaten Brisbane that day?
That's them, isn't it? Though, like that's their identity. They really put in good performances. Against like the team that's going to win the premiership, like the good teams.
Yeah, true.
But then they'll lose the next one.
Yeah.
Every
winning team scored 100 points this week.
Every winning team's got 100 points. Yeah, okay. That doesn't happen too often.
Yeah. Hawthorn might have had one of the lowest scores of a winning team this week. Ironic. It was wet.
What did they score?
107.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to be a lot better than that against West Coast.
Please. Watch a Richmond game. I'm going to do my thing.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
I don't know why I phrase it like that.
Crowd carries the Crows at Adelaide Oval. That's true, but they did lose. So last year they had 2 home finals, and they lost them both, right?
Who?
Crows.
Yes.
Yeah. As Rogie points out, they choked both games. I did feel like Adelaide last year, like not to say that they choked it and like bottled it or whatever, but they did. The way that they played, like I remember that game against Collingwood, that would have been the 1-4 qualifying final. And they did actually like coming out of stoppage, like they were very much just like get the ball on the boot, just smack it out of there. I felt like they lacked composure compared to how they'd played during the season. Glizzy Hand says, Dan Curtin in the midfield will carry us. I think it helps. I think Dan Curtin being in the midfield absolutely helps. Like I think that midfield's been a little bit light on. So you're probably running, if Curtin's in there, it just gives you, like, it gives the opposition a headache because I've got to worry about this enormous guy with, like, long arms and reach just grabbing the ball out of there. You got options then with Dawson with how you can use him. Like Jesse was saying, Rankin's been incredible from a midfield perspective. I think Berry's actually had a pretty good year as well. So the mix is looking a little bit better in there. It's probably just, like, it's a bit of system with Adelaide as well, I feel. What else will we have here? Electro Boy. Do you think Crom could get to a prelim, win elimination final, and then beat likely Sydney in a semi? Okay, so let's work this out. So they're going to play, let's just say that they win against the wildcard team, like whoever that is. Then they're going to get Sydney or Hawthorn probably. So you're saying Sydney. So this is true. Like if you get the semi with Sydney in it, you've kind of got a free ride to a prelim. The problem is then you're going to be playing one of Brisbane or Freo, and I don't know if I can actually see Adelaide beating either of those sides. Like I feel like that's where it stops regardless for them. That would be a pretty good result, right? If you get 2 finals wins, even though one of them would be against Sydney, but it would still be a pretty good result, I think. H-Shade says, Adelaide were tied in the last 2 games of the home and away season. They didn't rest anyone for finals. Is that this year we're talking? Or was that last year?
No. Makes sense if you're talking about last year.
Wilbur the Pair says, and probably a Port Adelaide supporter, I would think, Wilbur. Some Crows fans were saying they don't want Curtin in the mids. I haven't heard that.
I think let him gel as a little bit as an aerial winger, in my opinion.
You like the wing? He's been playing mid.
Yeah, true.
Smashing up some bodies in there.
Yeah.
He's a big unit.
Yeah.
They kind of do need that extra midfielder, but...
Yeah, they do. I'm sure they're still hoping it's Zach Bailey.
Wilbur says he's not riding the Swans off just yet. I'm going to leave you with that one.
Okay. Why are you leaving me with that one, Dylan?
There was no malice in that.
For those wondering, Dylan loudly proclaims North would win by 1,000,000 points against Sydney, which is funny. Don't write them off. Look, even if you accept that they're a good team with the players remaining, I still can't see them beating the Brisbane Lions in the first final. And then I think their next home final in the semi-final might be the Crows or Collingwood or someone from that stream of the finals bracket. So they could win that. They could. But then that takes them to Optus Stadium to play for Freo. So when you say not write them off, I just don't take them particularly seriously as a premiership chance. They could win a final, absolutely. Oh, sorry, Will, but you did just say from winning a final. That's fair enough. A lot of people just assuming Freo will beat Hawthorn. That's true. I do think there's a gap there, though. I think Freo are comfortably better than the Hawks. I suppose, the first time they met earlier this year was quite an interesting one where the Hawks looked too classy for them for 2.5 quarters, and then there was an avalanche that Hawthorn couldn't match. I reckon when the finals roll around, I think we'll see a strong Fremantle. Everyone should keep writing off the Swans. We will be underdogs for one. That's true. I do feel for you, Swans fans. For once, yeah. Boy says they assume right. Yeah, we'll see. I think they're capable of winning a final. I think they're capable. Depends who they get, obviously. But I just don't see them beating the Lions. Adelaide game plan just feels entirely antithetical to the list they have. Selections have also just been weird all year. What do you mean by that, Framalam? I know. Why are you zooming in? I can see the screen. What are you zooming in on? Or you were just zooming in. Have you zoomed back out? Because this is on delay. Okay. I feel like I'm impulsive.
What's that?
Logan Paul's podcast. I think what they do is they use I haven't watched it for years, but I think they use people walking around with cameras and give it that vlog style feel.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which is an interesting one.
Yep.
You got pretty close there. I can see my blemishes.
Yes.
Do you think Adelaide's game plan is right for the list that they have? Or is it antithetical?
I like that word.
Yeah, it's great. That was from Framalam.
Thanks, Framalam. I think in principle it's the right way to go. I get it because you've got basically they're building it around those aerial players, right? They've got the Thilthorpes and the Fogarty and Walker, that kind of 3-headed monster up there.
Yeah.
They want to, I suppose, use those guys as target men, and then they've got good contest players around that. So then get speed on the ball. They use Neil Bullen, they use Ben Keys, those types of players to then flick handballs through and try to get speed on the ball. They just don't do that as well as what let's say a Freo do. Yeah, I think, and they're probably not as well rounded. When Freo have to dip, Freo are the 5th best ball movement team in the competition, so they're not absolutely elite either. But when they're in those stationary ball situations, when there's not speed on the ball, they can still kind of go into different modes a bit.
That's true.
That's probably the biggest improvement of their game this year, I feel, or one of the big improvements. I don't think the Crows do that particularly well. They can't start a like a controlled ball chain from the back half and like move it all the way up the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Good answer. What do we got next? We still have 3 games remaining.
We do. We've got Port Adelaide and Essendon.
Okay.
I've actually got a social media tag here from someone called Tragic Sports Fan who wrote in this game, is there such a thing as reverse tanking? Going to start a conspiracy here. Port lose to Essendon, Richmond get pick 1. Richmond trade pick 1 plus Butters. Port use pick 1 on Cochrane and still have pick 4. Now the thing is, Port didn't lose.
Yeah, but isn't that just normal tanking?
Yeah, probably.
How's it reverse tanking? Reverse tanking is trying to win.
I think it's the tanking as in because Port aren't losing. It's reverse tanking is a bad way to put it.
Yeah.
But it's not like, it should be like tanking by proxy maybe or something.
Yeah.
Would be a better
Sounds
way
like a classic Mexican stalemate.
It's like tanking for somebody else.
Yeah. Yes. But ultimately I get that it's different from normal tanking, but reverse tanking is what every team tries to do with most weeks.
That's winning.
Yeah. I was watching that game with fascination about pick 1. I was switching between the Sydney AFLW game too. I was curious to see how that would go, but with Port, I did think I tipped Essendon, and it looked like Zach Merritt had sealed like a weird little fairy tale ending to what is kind of a bitter departure from the Essendon Footy Club. But there was a nice moment, and then I did feel like in that last quarter, Port were always going to win because every time Essendon scored, Power would just get the ball out of the centre and score again immediately.
Yeah, you know.
And you just know when that happens, one team scoring, it's like the Richmond West Coast scenario. One team scores way easier than the other, you know how it's going to end.
Yep.
And that's the way it went. But I couldn't help but think of the pick 1 scenario. I do think it's a moot point. I don't think Butters goes there. But still, it was fascinating.
Yeah. Do you think Essendon would have been walking away from this game going, we're pretty happy we lost that? Just we've got like...
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think that the benefit of claiming pick 1 versus a wooden spoon was really strong this year.
No, it wasn't.
I'm sure some fans would have been like, if they'd won, they would have been like, we've lost pick 1. But I think it would have been better to win.
It's not 2023.
Yeah. Oh.
I know all about that.
Yeah.
It was the Dons' worst season since 1933.
Yeah, wow.
As I pointed out before, the same year that the Nazis came to power.
Wow. So that's ominous.
It's very ominous. Yeah, exactly.
That's why the competition needs a strong Essendon. Thank you. It's been a bleak year. I don't think anything about this result really hammers that home. I think the club being in disarray at times this year, and just over the last few years with the turmoil and the CEO changes and the disruption they've had and the calls about their culture and Zach Merritt trying to leave, and then this year, like, it was just the last domino to fall was them winning a wooden spoon, to be honest.
Yeah, just ticked all the boxes of failure.
Yeah, so
bang,
hopefully this is the moment that they reset as a football club. Andrew Welsh, who's pretty new in the role, wasn't last year his first year? Yeah. And then new coach, Mark McVeigh. It's a new era, hopefully, for them.
It is. Dean Solomon bows out as the interim coach. He had 15 games in charge, not all with Essendon. This is his interim coaching record, including 3 games at the Gold Coast Suns. Solomon, 15 games, 14 losses, 1 win, 907 points for, and 1,649 points against, a percentage of 55.
Yeah, I don't like that. That makes him seem terrible, but I think he's just inherited this situation that no one else would have won more games with personally.
A real turd sandwich.
Yeah, that's unlucky. And you hope that isn't a blemish on him and his coaching credentials, to be honest. I hope no one's going, oh, you didn't get Essendon to win more games.
Yeah, I think it will be,
yeah,
though.
Lost to Port.
I think it will be.
You reckon?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be.
I reckon that's part of the reason that he didn't get this job.
Yeah, well, I think it's problematic basing it too much on the interim win-loss ratio, to be honest.
Yeah. They did perform quite poorly, though.
Yeah. I just think if we gave some grace to McQualter winning 1 game last year, I think we have to give the same grace to Solomon.
Yeah.
If no one's saying McQualter's a shit coach, then Solomon should preserve that a little bit.
But McQualter speaks so well,
He does.
Jesse.
He's very compelling.
He is. I believe in him.
Yeah, it's the sort of guy you want your daughter to take home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If it was age appropriate, obviously.
If he wasn't a 50-year-old dude.
He's like 38.
Is he only 38?
I think he was 38 when he joined. So yeah, maybe 40 now then.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought he was older than that.
No. He's got not a single silver hair on him. Less than me.
No, true. Blake Roberts Settle says Amon Buchanan, Sydney Ford's coach and previous GWS coach, is also reported to be joining McVeigh.
Okay. I remember him as a player.
So do I. A little nuggety small forward type.
Yeah, he played in the certainly the 06 grand final and probably 05 too.
Did he go to the Saints?
Yeah, Adam Schneider did.
Schneider.
I always mix those two up too.
Why?
Because they were small forwards at Sydney at the same time.
Yeah.
And they kind of look not
Do they look the
dissimilar.
same?
Not dissimilar. I'm picturing them both as Adam Schneider though.
I think I am too.
I'll look this guy
I'm
up.
picturing this little like army cut type setup on top, like a flat top.
Yeah, that's him.
Was there a bit of that?
Yeah.
Just let
this
me-
is him here.
Let's see.
Was he at the Brisbane Lions too, I think?
Oh yeah,
I think he went to the Brisbane Lions.
that's Buchanan.
That's Buchanan.
What does Schneider look like?
He's the guy in the Adam Sandler films going, "You can do it." Oh, that's Rob Schneider.
Yes, good Jesse.
It's distant relative.
100%.
Adam Schneider.
Adam Schneider. It's the same guy.
Yeah, basically.
It's actually the same guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very chody, both of them.
I knew you'd love that word.
Yeah, okay, Bernie Sugi says Butters will catapult Cats into premiership favouritism next season,
probably.
joining Holmes, Bailey Smith, Ollie Dempsey, Mullins and Atkins is scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a missing piece in that midfield. It kind of completes it, one would say.
What does he do to Port Adelaide? I think, like we've talked about them a little bit from a whole season perspective. I think they sort of underachieved, but given the circumstances around everything, with not having their captain in Connor Rozee, Zach Butters wanting to leave, I feel like the recruits that came in, who were taken from relative obscurity, did pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've gotten the best out of some of those players, which I think is a sign of a good coach, to be honest. So I think cautiously optimistic is the word a phrase I'd use for
Coach of the year.
Yes, yeah, coach of the year. Who came up with that?
I don't know.
I was going to say, was that me?
Someone just knows. No, it wasn't.
Someone in the chat, wasn't it?
No, I think it was actually
was
doing
a
the media.
pundit, yeah.
It was a pundit doing the media round.
Yeah.
Someone just went and said like, "Is he in the like? He's got to be close to coach of the year."
Yeah.
Which is just a crazy
Yeah,
shout.
that's a crazy shout. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Amon looked like a jacked Papley. Spot on. Spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Papley kind of looks like a jacked Papley.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a player that this is a prospective player for Port Adelaide that could bounce and be a gun.
Okay.
Jace Burgoyne.
Yeah.
2027.
Looks good.
Played midfield.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was in the top 5 highest rated players for the round.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
But they were playing Essendon.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, he looks pretty good. He looks pretty good. I'm a big fan of some of their other smalls, like or some players rather, like Berry and Whitlock, Josh Lay, Zato. If that's how you say it correctly.
Like Zatosaurus Rex.
Durden, yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember Burgoyne playing really well against my mob, and I was like, who's this kid? He's got a good haircut. You can set your watch to.
You set your watch to.
Yeah.
There was a moment, I think you mentioned Jack Whitlock then, late in the game, and Port fans will remember this moment. He just did this, he came from deep.
Yes.
Like the ball was in, he would have been coming from Port's forward line into Essendon's forward line, and he's made this running spoil.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And it was just a huge moment.
Yeah.
You're like,
he's a gun.
he's got something, this kid.
Yeah, you add Cochrane, and if they get something reasonable back here for Butters, which they should, maybe a chance to get back into the top 15. You add a Mitch Harris or something like that, another key piece. Salopek, Pilot next year, but then they'll also Naz is going to come out of contract. I reckon they'd be a
sneaky.
I reckon
sniff.
they would. Yeah.
They've got that's the thing with the Naz situation. They've got to get their shit together quickly.
Well, they'd lose the 2 players, I reckon, if they traded for Naz.
Yeah.
It's probably one or the other there. Yeah, you're right. So you think Adelaide would have a crack there for sure. That's assuming he wants to come home. But I think the homesickness thing seems to be valid. Maybe it's in everyone's best interests if Naz just signs on for another 2 more to free agency.
I sort of feel like Naz will just end up staying at St Kilda.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Oh, I have no real opinion other than the fact that he got pretty close to leaving last year.
Yeah. I wonder how much of it was maybe like a leverage thing.
Maybe, but if it's just a leverage thing, why not sign for 4 at 2 mil? They would have signed him.
True.
Because 4 would have taken him to free agency.
True.
So we'll wait.
True. Just keeping his options open. He's a brave man.
Yeah.
Now I forgot what I was going to say. Where was I going?
I don't know. I thought we'd sort of close that loop, close that thread on Port Adelaide.
Yeah, I think we did.
Like things can change quickly, and they seem to be well coached.
Yes. So we move on to the next game, which was Sydney defeating North Melbourne 123 to 70. So that's a 53-point win in my books. And I think, it's second on the ladder versus fifth last. Like what you pretty just
everyone saw this coming.
Yeah. Why would we beat them?
I've given you a beating today for this. I feel like I shouldn't triple down on it.
Go on.
Oh, well, Dylan very confidently said that Sydney wouldn't lay a glove. Was that the exact phrase on North Melbourne? I just made that phrase up.
Did I say wouldn't lay a glove?
No, you didn't say that. But you were very strong. We debated at the start of this stream the teams that this Sydney group with its remaining players would beat. And you were questioning even the bottom 3 at one point.
If you take the 3 best players out of any side, they're considerably weaker. And if you take not just the 3 best players, but then you take another 2 that are just good role players, tough to win many games.
And yet
here we are. we're back. We're back here. Sometimes, though, in sport, you can have a sort of David versus Goliath situation.
And so you're Goliath, are you? North Melbourne, Goliath.
Where when a team rallies together for a good cause and they're up against a team that isn't really playing for anything, which was North. And in fact, North were actually playing potentially to lose this game for a draft pick. This game, Jesse, us losing this game gives us a significant bump in the draft. And I'm actually pretty excited about losing this game. I don't like losing games at all, but I'm pretty excited about this one. Us going into the bottom 5 and slipping behind the Gold Coast Suns, who beat St Kilda back on Thursday night, means that the Kangas are going to get a top 5 pick. It's going to mean that we're going to get pick 5, which is going to turn into pick 4 when the bid is evaporated on the Dougie Cochran situation, and we're going to get a compensation pick at the end of the first round. So now you're talking for North Melbourne. You're talking like we could be in for like Augusta Shearer, or an Archie Butler, or a Harry Van Hatten potentially. Like we could be in that group of player. Heath Melody, Ethan Drever.
Yep. So you're saying you're the real winners?
We sort of are, in a way.
I totally agree that the benefit you get from losing this game is enormous. And that's on the back of Gold Coast winning on Thursday somewhat unexpectedly too. But you did just lose to a side you said should be not even beating West Coast by 9 goals.
Yes.
And I think the expected score was around the 140 mark.
What,
Swans.
They were for 140. Okay.
Well, they keep 18 goals, 21.
I saw Goulden had
I'm just being a twat.
Goulden had like 40, didn't he?
Yeah, something like that. I think this was. I thought it was a really impressive performance from Sydney, taking all the piss taking out of it, which I've done a lot of. We'll lead that into this Bong Choi super chat. Most emotional I've ever felt supporting this club. It's been an absolute shit week, but Errol, Rampy, and Mills crying at the end just embodies how much this still means. Anything can happen in finals. Thank you for the super chat. I think this would have been such a draining week for Sydney fans. I think it was for most AFL fans. But just I think I said it at the start of this show, like if there was something that caused a disconnect between me and the Eagles and threatened to ruin my love for them, like I think that would be really hard for me.
I know there's like a bigger picture in all of this, like bigger than the football side of it, but it's still like you're talking about like the players and fans who put a lot of emotional energy into football. Like the players who go to training and they work for it. So like it's
the
like
relationship with your footy club is important.
Yeah. So as much as there's a bigger meaning to all of it, like they're still devastated that their finals has been sort of ruined and shaken up, right?
Yeah, well, not even like my mind wasn't probably on the finals as such. Obviously, it does hurt even more. Like it compounds it if your team is like you thought you were a sniff of winning the flag too. But I think even just the disgrace of it is something that is painful, and obviously we'll find out more about what happened in that hotel room. That's an ongoing investigation, obviously. Just to quote every other person, particularly Matt Pavlich or Andrew Dillon, like just using that phrase over and again. And I get it. But I don't know. I like that a lot of people got to the W game, which was nice. I think there was a record-breaking crowd there.
Yeah, that was great.
That was nice. Nice little statement. And I also felt like a bit emotional for all the players on the field. I saw some unfair criticism about them saying, "Oh, you're not crying for the girl." I think it's just unfair to assume what the motivations were for those players. I think it was just a tough week.
Yeah.
But
Completely
thank you, Bok
agree.
Choy, for that super chat. Again, like I would say, great win for the club. Obviously, it still doesn't change what's happening right now. But I can understand why it was emotional.
It gave them something to put their energy into, I think.
Yeah.
Like going for that win and achieving something together.
Yeah.
I think, and the fact that the AFLW team won as well, I think that's
they did. Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah.
That was a nice moment. Emotions are a funny thing. Like with respect to this Sydney team winning this game, is like I reckon if you play that game like Thursday, I think probably Sydney get annihilated, and like as in less removed from the event. But that maybe there was just enough time for them to sort of process it to an extent and then get themselves up. But I reckon had it happened closer to the epicenter of the event, then they probably wouldn't have like wanted to play at all. And then maybe if it happens 3 days later, all jokes aside, like in the week one of the finals is going to be a different challenge again to go up against a good side like Brisbane.
Yeah. I think they're going to get, like, this is going to get more and more emotionally fatiguing for them.
Yeah.
Over the longer the final series goes, I think. And playing into that will be like, I suppose, like what's going on in the background and the new information that comes out and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a bit of a whirlwind. From a North, like bringing it back to football, like from a North perspective, like what do you think of North Melbourne's season? I suppose overall, was this I actually did, being all seriousness, I thought I was disappointed with that performance from North Melbourne.
Sure.
I thought we really needed to give a better account of ourselves than that, even though there is a small part of me thinking, I'm happy that we do have the better draft hand 1 year before Tassie comes in. Yeah.
Again, all jokes aside, I razzed you up, if that's a thing people say. I razzed you.
Sounds sexual.
I think it's right. No, it doesn't. It does not. Excuse me. I honestly think in terms of just pure football, you probably were unlucky to be the team they played this week.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, I just think that Sydney came out with such a determination. It was arguably their best performance in a while as a football team. Because on paper and with the trajectory North's been on, this should have been a closer game.
I think we lost to them by 5 points last time.
That's right. Yeah. This was a really comprehensive victory by the Swans. It was really impressive. As for the season itself, we did a non-finalist report card video earlier today. And I think I said that it's not the beating Essendon twice or going 1-1 with West Coast or beating Richmond twice that's impressive, because North were probably doing those things last year, but it's this result aside, it's how they've played against some of these better teams and been in the contest longer. The first time they played Sydney, GWS to some extent, they're a little bit hard to assess, but Geelong both times, particularly the Marvel one, right in the contest, had a response in the middle of that game. Who else did you play well against this year?
Collingwood.
Came from behind against the Gold Coast Suns. And the other one,
Dogs.
Dogs, thank you. All of those, I think, is what has elevated this season in legitimacy for North.
I think so too. I think it's going to get like I still have long-term vision problems with North Melbourne, because I kind of think like, when are we going to be able to make that, like that? What talent do we have that the other teams that are also aspiring, like up against teams like St Kilda that are in that middle bracket, teams like Carlton who maybe don't have the amount of talent but probably have like, on some level, maybe like better talent with like their top end players as well. Plus they've got more mature players to kind of like to bring them along for the ride as well. So I do worry about us long term, but I think the season's been solid.
Yeah, I agree. I saw another one from Bong Choi. Lots of Swans fans in the subreddit asking how they explain to their 10-year-old why their favourite players weren't playing.
Yeah.
I spent the week like up to a certain point where the news sort of stopped, just like being obsessed with this ongoing situation. And I think everyone's probably seen it. There's a lady who posted a photo of her daughter and Heaney in the hotel room in the background.
And Cox is in the background.
Yeah, talking to like one of the women involved. I don't know if it was the alleged victim. I'm not sure. Yeah, that was like, I don't know what the word is. Confronting, like just a wild thought to be in the shoes of. I think she later said. I don't know if I'm mixing up posts here, but someone said like their daughter asked, "Are we allowed to like Heaney again?" So like just navigating that as a parent of a Sydney Swans family would be incredibly awkward.
Very strange situation.
Yeah,
very strange situation. And like you even like my mind even at one point drifted to like the players that weren't involved in this, like going back. Obviously, they're traveling back to Sydney and like they're going to like their partners and their families, and then explaining. It to them, and it's like were you involved? You must know what's going on, like that kind of thing, and like just there's so many little pieces to it.
Yeah. It's it'll all come out. Excuse me. What happened? It just might take some time.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of North questions it looks like in here. North Melbourne picking Dersma over Nick Watson is wild, says Bernie Suki.
Nah.
Bloody wanted Watson and Curtin.
Yeah, true.
I bloody wanted them at the time.
Yeah, you did.
Oh well. What else have we got here, Jesse?
Where do you think Stringer ends up?
Stringer? Yes.
It could be Sydney.
Could be Sydney.
Well, he's linked to Sydney.
Is he?
He wants to get to Collingwood.
I thought he was trying very desperately. He wants to get back to Victoria, right?
Oh, he does too. No, he definitely was linked to Sydney in the media, but you're right. He did say he wanted to get back to Victoria. Yeah. And Collingwood is, so maybe Sydney's not realistic. But Collingwood has been linked. Collingwood, I suspect, based on other rumours, they want Hogan. Hogan wants to get to Gold Coast potentially. So I think all of that's connected. I don't know if they get Stringer.
They might take Stringer as an afterthought.
Yeah. I don't know if they'd get both. That seems overkill. I'd be interested in Rogie's thoughts. Rogie says, please, not for the love of God, not Collingwood.
I swear to God, like Jake Stringer's got just this uncanny knack of like, it gets to the end of a contract. There's clubs involved and they're not that interested. They're vaguely interested. And then he kicks like 50 goals in a match and he kicks like a bunch of goals from like the pocket and he's like doing these ones to the crowd and stuff. And then it's kind of like, oh, maybe he's got something. Maybe he's got a little bit there.
On the 1 year deals, I reckon. For the rest of it, if he's not already. I don't know where he gets to other than that. Who would have a need in Victoria? Hawthorn, no. Geelong, probably not.
I don't think he goes to a rebuilding club because it's Jake Stringer.
Yeah. Tigers.
Nah.
I know you just said no, and I just asked the Tigers. God, could he end up without a home?
Maybe.
That'd be crazy.
Maybe. I don't know. Would you take him?
Alice says, wasn't Stringer with that minor horrible look for us if we get him? Yeah, I must admit, I was a little young at the time, so I can't really remember how much of that was confirmed. And so I'm reluctant to peddle that on here.
Yeah. Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, maybe this is naive, but I'm like, well, if he did, why is he not in jail? That's probably naive.
I don't know if it's naive. It's just not everybody that breaks the law goes to jail.
Yeah.
But we've probably said enough.
Yeah, we probably have. I don't know. Would I take him to West Coast? No, I don't think the fit is right. He would make us a better team, but it's a bit of a stretch, I think.
Yeah. I think he's never really like fully reached his potential as a player, which I think is kind of in some ways like a bit of a red flag as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't know what he's got to offer anybody else. Should we take a look forward, Jesse, to the finals?
Did we miss a game?
Oh, we did too.
I mean, I'm happy to skip it.
We missed a game.
But we did.
I think we can
kind of gloss over this. There's nothing interesting that happened really between Hawthorn and West Coast. There was a little fascination for most of it around the potential percentage Hawthorn needed to win by 90 plus to get into the top 3.
I'm actually going to be honest here. Everyone's been saying this was an absolute nothing burger of a game. I sort of quite enjoyed it.
You sicko.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if they could do it.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Other
Like
than
a
that,
sicko.
other than that, there was nothing in it. Yeah. Well, they were on track for most of the game.
They were.
At least halfway through, they were about the 50-point margin.
There was a text sent to me from you. What did it say? They'll get this by half time.
No, I didn't say that.
What did you say actually?
I would have thought thought it was on though. There's a funny little thing happens when clubs get a target in the final round and you're playing an average team.
I'm actually really trying to find this message
I
now.
reckon, I think, I do remember saying if the margin is 50 at 3/4 time, it's on.
Yeah.
Because the damn wall does break.
But I think the rain.
The rain held Hawthorn up, definitely. You could argue it held West Coast up at times too, but West Coast also miss every week. So,
I mean, you only scored 40 points, right?
we did. But I think if I was putting my lawyer hat on, Dylan, our expected score was higher than went up by more than theirs. So
Okay.
in theory, we left more goals on the table. However, in that last quarter, Hawthorn missed 5 pretty gettable ones, and you just think if those go through, then it does get to 100.
Well, I think there was Jack Dalton. He missed a shot to the left.
Newcomb missed 1 or 2.
Newcomb missed one
Yeah.
after the head knock from Harley,
right,
which
yeah.
is a separate thing. That
Yeah,
sling
suspended
tackle.
for 2 weeks.
2 weeks he got for that.
Yeah.
I just think the
Oh,
thing
you've
for-
put the Eagles winning by 50 points on the graphic.
What?
Screenshot this. On the graphic, it says West Coast. Oh, it's because that's the North Melbourne score, but the logo's changed.
Oh,
That's okay. I'll leave it up. I like it. That's
it looks
fine.
better like that.
Yeah, it does.
I think the rain, the thing for me with the rain, that made it easier for West Coast is obviously when the ball gets waterlogged, the kicks that you can't penetrate the field as much with those longer kicks, right? So they were sort of it was easier to defend. You've got a smaller space to have to kind of wrap your defense around.
Yeah,
And I think that's kind of what slowed the scoring of the game down.
probably a little bit. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
Go
You
on.
sort of really looked at me when you said penetrate. But
Yeah, I did. I got weird.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it was a factor. It's not that I think West Coast should lose to Hawthorn by 90 points, but I think if they had a target in mind. What was interesting as well with Sam Mitchell, I think it was Connor McDonald or Newcomb maybe, post-game interview. They're like, were you thinking about the 90-point margin? And he's like, yeah, we had a bit of a conversation about it. And then in the press conference, Sam Mitchell's like, no, we were happy to play Freo. We weren't really thinking about it. So he just got outed. Of course they would have been thinking about it.
100%. You could tell they were.
Yeah.
They played that game with way too high intensity.
Yeah.
When they were coming out, you could tell that they were let's fucking go.
Yeah.
There was time, I think Will Day kicked a couple of goals and he was sort of he was almost getting them come on, we've got to fucking do this. We've got a mission here.
Yeah.
You felt that they actually really wanted to win that game.
I think so too.
by 120.
They did park Nick Watson on the bench at 3/4 time.
Yeah. I think it got to a point and they were like, this is a bit of a long shot now.
Yeah, probably.
Pragmatically.
Yeah, it's not worth losing a Nick Watson. I think they were talking about his hammy's been a bit tight or something during the game. I don't know if that was real.
Yeah.
But yeah, they lock into 4th spot. Any chance of knocking off Freo?
Any chance of knocking off Freo? There's always a chance, Jesse.
There's always a chance, yeah.
I don't know. As it comes closer, I feel like this game will be closer than people think.
Yeah.
I'm going to tip Freo. I'm not
Okay.
going to tip Hawthorn.
Yeah.
But I don't think Freo are just going to blow them away.
No, I agree. Maybe 3 or 4 goals. I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
There might be 5 goals down at one point and then kick 9.
And then Wharfie time it.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they allowed to Wharfie time in?
I can't imagine why they wouldn't be in a home final.
Yeah, I think they would.
I think
be.
they're allowed to.
Yeah.
I think you should be able
I think
to.
it was just the grand final that they weren't allowed.
Yeah. I mean, the grand final is different.
The was because you're not there yet.
Yeah. Although I'll never forget in 18 when we played in our grand final, we have this song we used to run out to, Joker and the Thief, at home games. We ran out on grand final day to it. I thought that was weird. Such an uninteresting little tidbit, but to me, I thought it's always stayed with me. I was like, we did our home game prep, match day experience at the G.
Yeah, okay. Which grand final was that?
18.
Okay. And it worked.
Yeah. It's interesting to me. I hope you guys liked that. Yeah, it was actually cool. Till we started losing every game and just kind of stopped being cute.
What do you associate it with now?
Actually, we parked it for a few years and We run it. Well, it's 3/4 time. It's no, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You know that song? You're looking at me with no recognition.
I sort of do.
It's woeful.
I'm picking up the tune.
It's woeful.
There's yeah. Yeah, Bernie Suki says gettable goals in the fourth. Hawks just choked. Choked
is harsh. They won the game by 10 goals.
It did weirdly feel like at the end of the game, not that they were deliberately trying to not act like this, but it did feel like they'd lost a game at the end. It felt like both teams lost.
Yeah. I don't think I was paying that close attention to notice that. Yeah, fair.
Yes.
Bernie says Hawks have a chance. Yeah, they definitely have a chance. Yeah. I just don't think they're as good as Fremantle, so I'll be surprised.
Redback Spider says if Hawthorn beat Fremantle, it puts Fremantle into the Brisbane and Geelong side of the draw. If they did lose to Hawthorn, would you be concerned about Freo?
Oh, it makes it a lot harder, but I still think I'd be tipping them in all those finals to the grand final.
Yeah, right.
Like
even against Brisbane.
It's hard to say I'd tip them in the Gabba in a way prelim. I think they're a red hot chance though. I don't think they hold fears of that ground. So it's just like bringing the grand final a week early. That's what that would be.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Not out of the race, put it that way.
Not out of the race.
Yeah.
Interesting. Gunston is a bad matchup for Pearce and Cox, says Bernie Suki.
From whose perspective? As in he could get away from it? Didn't he kick a bag on him? Remember that time we were watching the pub,
Gunston,
Freo and Hawthorn?
I actually reckon Gunston is a bad matchup for those guys.
Yeah.
Cox is pretty immobile.
Yeah. So I've heard. Yeah, you're right. He can. It depends. Like where Gunston dominated was when Hawthorn were controlling possession.
Yes,
but as soon as the game changed to Fremantle's terms, I don't think he got a look in.
No,
he kicked like 6 in 2.5 quarters or something.
Was that in the game mid-year?
Yeah, we were at the pub watching that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think he kicked like 5 really early, and we were like, "Hang on, Hawks are on here.
They're on."
And then Fremantle's Wharfie time.
Wharfie time.
Yeah,
it kicked in, didn't it, Jesse?
Yeah,
it bloody kicked in.
It did.
I reckon that's it, Jesse.
It is.
Oh, I've got news.
Bit of news.
What news, says producer?
The Carlton is saying that Geelong, Richmond and Western Bulldogs all have 9-year deals for Zach Butters.
Geelong, Richmond and Western Bulldogs have 9-year deals for Zach Butters. I must have Eagles on the brain. I thought you said West Coast at first. And I was like, hang on. We're back, baby.
Hang on.
9-year deals.
Toby Green will meet with Geelong later this week.
Toby Green will meet with Geelong later this week. Thank you, producer. Yeah,
wow.
I think Toby Green will go. Geelong, Richmond, and the Western Bulldogs. And then there were 3.
9-year deals.
Yep. Did you say 9-year eels?
I did. I love 9. Okay.
Yeah, we're deep in. We've been filming. We have 4 videos coming out this week, guys. We have a trades video. We have draft Q&A. We have non-finalist gradings.
Yep.
And we have finals preview. And then we did a little mock that will come out on Instagram. Instamock.
Yep.
And then we did a 2-hour live show. So it's been an enormous day. And that's why the jokes are getting worse.
They are.
Yep.
They feel funnier, though, as the day rolls on.
Yeah.
The jokes feel funnier and everyone's going, oh, come on. Move along.
Exactly.
We'll wrap it up, guys, and we will be back. We'll be back at the weekend.
Yes, we are back this weekend. We haven't decided which game yet.
We haven't decided.
We've got the Western Bulldogs in Collingwood on Friday night, and we have Melbourne and Carlton on the Saturday night. We might wait to announce that one.
Yes.
We'll decide what we do there.
Yes. But we will be back either Friday or Saturday. Be with us there, and we'll be back for our normal episode next Monday. Go and check out the True Footy website. We've got heaps of stuff going on there. The draft stuff has been coming out our ears, Jesse.
Yes, out the wazoo.
We've got player comparisons. What else have we got? We've got an extended list of players on there. We've got more profiles.
It's a very long list.
It is a very long list.
I know, but it's just funny to point it out as a selling point. The list of players is long.
Well, the profiles are growing. It's all growing.
Yeah, the profiles are looking pretty schmick. I don't think I've seen a player profile like what we've got going on at the moment. We're still filling them all out. Not every player is completely done, but you can't start them too early, really, with the draft, right? But yeah, the player comparison tool is my favorite. Dill, you input all their stats this year as well,
yes,
which is on their draft profiles.
We've got that coming in as we get more. I think all the national championship stuff is there.
Yeah. Yep.
already. And we're trying to bring in some stuff from the Coates Talent League as well.
You got key strengths, areas to improve, play comparisons. I've got Mitch Harris here. Alex Tyru. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Bit of athleticism.
Yep.
We will rock and roll. We'll see you at the weekend.
Oh, one more thing. One more thing. We have a finals prediction comp. Go to truefooty.com.au, enter for free. You tip every game of the final series. There's a rolling score. If you tip every single game correctly, which is extremely unlikely, you double your points. Now, why do you do that? Because you can also predict first goal kicker and Norm Smith medalist for 8 points and 5 points respectively. I did the double point bonus so that somebody who gets a bunch of finals wrong can't just beat the person who got everything right purely because they got first goal kicker. Does that make sense? If you tip, say, Fremantle on week 1 and correctly, and they play in the prelim, right? If you tip them to win the prelim, it doesn't matter who they play, even if you got the other games wrong. So if you tip Fremantle to win qualifying final, prelim final, and grand final, you get 3 points. That makes sense. Bit complicated. Just go and check out truefooty.com.au, make a free account, and take part in the fun.
Like Jesse said, if you win the competition, you actually receive pick 6 in the draft yourself.
Which does not get you an end of first round compensation, but it's pretty good.
Love it. Goodbye, guys. Thank you all for being with us. We'll see you next time.